Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, wherever you're receiving this audio. Don't mind the fan in the background because it's really hot where we are. But welcome back to yet another episode of the Busted Coverage Podcast, right here on YouTube as well as Spotify. This is your captain, Nicholas Persampieri, speaking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the host, along with my partners in crime, Matt Baywood and Cam Griffin. Before we get started, we'd like to thank you guys once again for tuning in. We appreciate the love and support that you guys show. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and leave comments on both YouTube and Spotify. We'd love to hear from you guys, get your opinions, your takes, and maybe we'll shout you out and talk about them on the show. Who knows? As long as they're good topics, of course. With that in mind, speaking of topics, Mr. Cam Griffin is in the building. We don't have Soundboard Poppy today, but that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Cam is going to be our moderator for this episode, and I'm going to pass the mic over to him. He will be going over our topics, and we are going to get this shindig going. So, Cam, what do you got for us today?
I guess we should start. Thank you, Captain Nick.
I am the captain now.
Oh, my God.
No smoking in the lavatories.
No.
That was a Tom Hanks movie?
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah, the one where the pirates took over the
Yes.
ship.
Look at me.
We're going to start with, well, it's been a few days, weeks since NHL season has ended, so we've had some trades go on. I know you two are very avid watchers, so I'm going to ask you some questions about that. How are y'all liking the trades that have happened? We're going to go to our MLB update. Got some teams that are overachieving, some teams that are underachieving. We're going to see which teams are where we thought they would be and maybe which teams had some work to do and which teams just flat out disappointing. We're going to find out. Matt is a avid Pittsburgh Steelers fan, as we know. We've had a few trades in the NFL. We're going to see if some of these trades are related to his team and see if where he is and how he feels about his chances to win a Super Bowl now. Are they better, worse, or he just doesn't know what the hell his franchise is doing? I'm going to go with he doesn't know what the hell his franchise is doing, but that's just me because I stir the pot. And then we're going to go NBA free agency and trades. We've had some major shakeups after some teams have had some major injuries. They decided to blow up their rosters a little bit, so we're going to get on that. Look at some of the free agencies still out there. And, oh, by the way, have you seen Summer League? Somebody didn't do their workouts and did not look good in their NBA debut. Mr. Ace Bailey. But we will get to that later on. So, are you guys ready to talk a bit?
Sir, yes, sir.
Matthew?
Yeah, of course.
Are you ready? I am
Of course.
excited. Obviously, Matthew and I probably will not agree on one topic. We'll see which topic that will be today. I know people like that back and forth. So with that, let's get started. Nick,
Hello.
our resident hockey person. I gotta find a better word than person. We're gonna start with you today.
Fan, I guess.
In all fairness, Nick is resident everything person, but
I just reside.
NHL free agency.
Yes.
We are a few weeks, I believe, weeks is the right term I can use, post Stanley Cup. We've had some trades. What would you say is a trade that stands out? You saw it and you said, wow, I need to write this down. We need to discuss this.
So, I have one from each conference, if that's all right. I have to ask for permission. I don't want to talk too much.
No. I didn't say
kidding.
one. Did I say one? I said, or a few we'll say.
Well, first, speaking of NHL, shout out to the Florida Panthers, back-to-back. Ruined my futures bet, but they were the better team. Actually, speaking of free agents, they did a really good job of keeping their core players together. Their three big veteran players all re-signed for less money. So they kept the band together. So they are going for the three-peat. And I'm going to segue my next point here into the two moves that I thought were extremely interesting. The first one out of the Western Conference was the Las Vegas Golden Knights acquiring Mitch Marner from the Toronto Maple Leafs and proceeding to give him $96 million over 8 years. 8-year contract. So he's being paid about, $12 million a year, Now in hockey, that's a good amount of money.
It is.
12 million, anything over 10 million a year in hockey is pretty big.
Funny enough, I'm going to rant about $3.5 million. So
Okay.
that
So-
just goes to
Nick,
show
let
that.
me ask you a question. We all know my ignorance on hockey. Is a 10-year? You said 8 years, right?
It's an 8-year contract. Yes.
Is that a contract for hockey that might be too long? Is that the average? Like, how does an 8-year contract look?
So it's kind of like the equivalent of like a 5-year max in NBA.
Okay.
Sort of. That seems to be like the main, like, when the star players sign big contracts, it's usually 6 to 8 years
Okay.
that they sign for. Sometimes it'll be 4.
And then by the time their next contract comes up, the cap is higher.
Right.
So they're able to get more money.
Yeah. So it's I feel like it's more, they're thinking more long. And plus, like, I'm not really familiar with like options, like player options. I don't feel like that's as common in hockey
Okay.
than it
Fair.
is, say, like in the NBA. But yeah, 8 years is usually you're like a main focal point player for that franchise. And Marner getting this contract, Vegas views him as the missing piece for them to return to the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost in the second round to Edmonton, so they're going to want to get back, and they believe that he is that player. He was pretty much the best player on the Maple Leafs, probably, last year. So, but that wasn't the biggest one. There was one other move
Drum roll, please.
out of the Eastern Conference from a team that we all know very well because they used to be in Connecticut, and that is the Carolina Hurricanes. They acquired Keandre Miller from the New York Rangers. Huge trade. They traded a 2026 conditional first-round pick, a 2026 second-round pick, and defenseman Scott Morrow. And they gave Keandre Miller an 8-year, $60 million extension. So, for those of you who don't know, Keandre Miller is a defenseman, played for the Rangers. He's basically the modern-day PK Subban. He's a two-way defenseman, super high upside, just 25 years old. Carolina's biggest issue in the playoffs last year was their defense. They looked like they didn't have a chip on their shoulder, and he is going to bring that chip. Maybe he'll bring another chip. I don't know. Could be too early to tell. But this was a big move for Carolina and another big investment, I believe, because is the NHL draft only 2 rounds?
No, I think it's 3.
But they gave up 2 of their 3 picks next year to the Rangers. So, and gave them an extension. So it's boom or bust for Carolina and for Vegas, and I think those moves represent that. And then that's where I will leave my topic. Do I believe they challenged
NHL
Florida?
draft is 7 rounds.
7 round. Okay, so forget everything I just said because I was just fact checked. But still, their top 2 draft picks belong to the Rangers, essentially. Especially when they're in win now mode. So great for both teams.
Yeah.
Rangers are probably going to be in a rebuild-ish. Maybe they'll meddle around. They were not a playoff team last year. Probably expect the same. In terms of, does anyone challenge Florida in the Eastern Conference? I don't see it. Maybe Carolina or Washington. Washington hasn't really done any moves that I could think of that were major. Obviously, you still have Alex Ovechkin, so he's there. But Ottawa's young, coming up. But I think it's Florida's conference to lose. So I think the three-peat is possible, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Nick jumping ahead a little bit, but
Sorry.
it's okay. We don't mind it. Matt, let me ask you the same question. What stood out to you in free agency?
This is more of a concern for the Boston Bruins because it was just 2 seasons ago that they set the NHL record 65 wins in a season while also simultaneously having a 135 goal or point season. Then they get rid of Brad Marchand, who proceeds to win yet another ring, which he hasn't done since his rookie year with the Bruins. He goes down to Florida and wins this past year, and he was pretty much the catalyst in that move. He absolutely, rised and shined in all moments in the play. He scored multiple goals. He scored 2 game winners. He scored at least one in overtime. Anyway, they just signed a 3rd or 4th line player to a 5-year extension, which is not very common, at least for a team like that. You don't do that. You sign your first and second. I'm glad you asked Nick that question. Because, yes, you sign your first line stars and your second line stars to longer deals. Mm-hmm. You don't do that to players that haven't produced since the rookie year, which I haven't named the player, as Tanner Jeannot signed a 5-year deal. And in hockey, they use like AAV, which is like annual value, of $3.4 million per year. If the whole contract was $3.4 million for the 5 years, that would be fine. But being that it's a $15 million contract, for a player that's not producing, it's starting to head scratch for the Boston Bruins. Now, going to the other conference with Edmonton, if there's anybody that's going to take down Florida, being that I'm going to jump ahead here too, and Edmonton, Jeff Skinner, their dog shit goalie, is a free agent, and they signed 2 goalies in the offseason already. They signed one of the backup goalies from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Excuse me, I don't remember his name. And they signed somebody from Sweden. And we know Sweden is good for hockey. So, and they signed a new defenseman, which they were lacking in the playoff. Again, don't know the name off the top of my head. And I can't pronounce it probably. Either way. So, if there's any team that's going to challenge, even though Florida was a lower seed this year, they still found a way to get it done in the biggest moment. I think that Edmonton is going to come back and try to, get some revenge on that. Thought it was going to be this year, but I'm a stubborn idiot, and I'll go with my pick again for next year.
So, I'm going to butcher your names because I'm going to try, and we all know I can't pronounce names. Is it Andrew Manjapane?
He's the defenseman?
Major Payne, baby.
Major Payne. We'll call him Major Payne because I'm going to butcher his name. Curtis Lazar, Matt Tompkins, and Riley Stillman.
Tompkins is the goalie.
All right, so that's the goalie. That's the goalie they signed.
They signed another goalie from Sweden, which I can't remember his name. Let me see if I can find it quick.
So
Samuel Johnson, he's the other goalie. They signed to a 3-year contract.
And it looks like they re-signed some of their key players also. Okay.
Samuel Johnson is a 21-year-old Swedish goalie. So he's on an entry-level contract.
So they're probably going to start that Lightning player.
Yeah. He has some experience too, but anything's better than Skinner letting up 6 goals a game. I mean, I just can't believe it. That honestly, like, I just looked at my TV and I really just wanted to throw the remote through it.
You think he was allowed back in Canada after that?
What do you think, man?
No.
You think he was allowed back in his home country after that performance? Because we had a few performances.
He got sent to Greenland.
In different sports, and we were like, they weren't allowed back in the state afterwards. So I'm just asking.
I have a funny in my head, but I don't think it's that funny to be put on the wavelengths. So I'm going to refrain from saying my joke. I will say it off air.
Let me ask you guys this question further. Were there any other teams that you feel should have made a move and didn't? Yeah.
I raised my hand. I am going to pick the Washington Capitals. Mm-hmm. Now, I feel like they probably did some re-signings, tried to keep whatever they have afloat, but no major headlines, trades, free agent signings. They probably could have used another attacking player to go with Ovechkin, knowing that, Mitch was available in Toronto. You could have traded for him, You have to think of life after Ovechkin. He's not getting any younger, and he's still your leader in scoring and probably points. So you got to start thinking about the future while you're still, a second round potential Eastern Conference Finals team. And I don't think they went out and did anything that puts them in a more competitive position. So I think, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. Not to say that they're going to be bad. They'll still be a good team. But, it's always, what have you done for me lately? Mm-hmm. And so, I just don't think they really capitalized when they could have.
Play on words.
Can you just repeat the question so I know I'm answering it properly?
Capitalized. Yeah. What did you feel there was a team that maybe should have made some moves and didn't?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with hometown here. Pittsburgh Penguins needed to do some things in the offseason.
I was gonna say we don't have a team for hometown, but got you. Okay.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
my home, like,
hometown.
yeah. So they had, I think we briefly discussed this last week. They had the 11th and the 12th pick in the first round. They traded away the 12th for the 22nd and 31st pick. Fine with that. They need to offload Tristan Jarry for anything. He's their primary goaltender.
What are we offloading players for?
Cheese doodles.
There you go. Sorry, I threw it in there.
For anything. I'll take a 7th round draft pick for him. They overpaid. He doesn't perform. He's injured all the time. He just sits there like deer in the headlights. I honestly feel like any of us could go in there and do better. I might end up on Twitter at some point.
I can't even skate.
Yeah.
I haven't in years, so it'll be interesting.
Would I want Jeff Skinner over Tristan Jarry? No.
Okay. So there's a limit.
There is a limit. But they ended up trading their backup goalie who actually had upside in the offseason instead of him. They also fired their coach, Mike Sullivan, who is now the Rangers head coach, and we got Dubois, who I think was was he the Maple Leafs head coach or was he the
Dubois?
Yeah.
Something like
He was
that.
either the Rangers or
Dallas or something.
I don't know. He can't get it done, though. So we'll see. I mean, they did get some talent. They need to get rid of Carlson, too. He's old. He doesn't want to be there. And just get what you can get for these guys. And whether it's draft picks for the future, because Sidney Crosby isn't getting any younger. Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang aren't getting any younger. So time to at least get draft picks to get younger. And see where you go. You can always get a prodigy late. You never know. Jake Gensel, Brian Rust, all these guys that are on the team. Jake isn't there anymore. I think he went to the Lightning, but he was a great player, helped win the second of the back-to-back. And, that being said, they could have made some moves that would have suited my fantasy a little bit better.
What did you say your coach was?
It was Mike Sullivan, and now it's somebody Dubois.
Dan Muse?
Is it Dan Muse?
Yeah.
No, Dubois. Is he the GM?
It says the Penguins hired Dan Muse as head coach on June 4th.
Oh, then that's him. Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, Baywood is not happy about it.
Yeah. No.
He's so upset about
sure,
it.
So
He doesn't even
to check.
That might as well be his.
Yeah. It is Dan Muse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Dan
He was
Muse?
the assistant coach for the Rangers.
Okay.
No, I don't like the pick. We should have kept Sullivan.
Let me ask you both this, because you both referenced it a few times. And this question was not there, so we're going to put them on the spot for this question.
Uh-oh.
But they both know hockey, so we're good. You both referenced picks and young players either being traded for or signed. Are you happy with the teams you support in their NHL draft picks this year?
Well, technically, I'm a Flyer fan.
Are you happy with who the Flyers drafted?
No, because I have no idea who they took.
Oh.
Because they are just buns. So, they're buns on skates.
As if you didn't watch it, you just don't know.
They're literally like a loaf of bread in the freezer. Get it? Buns on ice. They I think had one of the worst records in the Eastern Conference this year. So, the Flyers. I think they were trash 99. So I kind of changed my affiliation to Edmonton because I had a bet on them. And, I like their colors. But, yeah, so, the Flyers still have my heart a little bit. But I don't know, nobody on that team.
All right, fair.
Not
Matt,
gonna lie,
were you happy with your draft
I
pick?
was because we had 13 draft picks in 7 rounds.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that there was youth being added to the team, they had 3 first-round picks, 11, 22, and 24. Benjamin Kendall, all 3 of them were forwards, all were needed.
How many picks are in a round for hockey?
There's 30 teams.
30, yeah.
30 rounds. Okay, no, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, don't know. So, now that we've gotten the free agency trades out of the way, I know you guys touched on it a little bit. with the trades that were made, with the signings that were made, where the teams were last year, are we going to see a Florida three-peat, or do you think someone's actually going to challenge them?
Well,
Barring, I will say, obviously injuries can happen, and then that changes the dynamic of everything. Healthy teams at the end of the year, what do you think, Matt?
Let me just put it this way. If Edmonton doesn't win this year, I would not be surprised if Connor McDavid goes elsewhere.
Correct. It's last year of his contract anyway, right?
Yeah. So, that being said, all the pressure is on Edmonton to stop Florida from three-peating. I think they will because they don't want to lose McDavid. And McDavid's going to show out. I think he actually likes being in Edmonton. But again, if he can't win there and they can't surround him with talent, which they're under huge pressure here to do, primarily on the back end because their offense was fine for the most part, but when their defense is no show for 3 out of the 6 games, so yeah, I think they're going to make some moves, whether they make a trade or not, to boost the defense. I think Edmonton will stop the three-peat from happening. So to answer your question, no, Florida does not three-peat. It's very hard to do.
So I think they're the favorites to win the Eastern Conference again. The only team I really see challenging them in the East, as it's currently constructed, is Carolina, because I think that Keandre Miller move is huge for them.
And they're already a great team.
And also Tampa Bay, they're still a very good team. You know, you always have to consider them. I don't think Washington did anything to advance. Toronto's choke artists. Ottawa's too young. Philly's doo-doo. Boston, nah. I don't think they really got much to offer. Yeah, I think it's Florida's to lose in the East. They should make the Cup final. I think the West is going to be more open this year.
I bet.
I think it'll be much more competitive. I think Colorado's going to still make some noise. The Vegas move, Mitch Maynard's huge. But I think on paper, Edmonton's still the best team in the West. We could see 3 in a row in terms of the matchup, which would be actually pretty interesting. So I think if anybody stops them, it would be either Carolina or Edmonton. But we'll see.
I don't know if we were on air for this or we were off air. I think we were off air, so we're going to bring it on air. You mentioned Florida players taking less money. How do you think that affects their chances for a three-peat?
Oh, I think it could bolster it in the sense of they have room to bring in another player at, say, the deadline. They brought in Marchand at the deadline this past year, or near the deadline, to be that veteran presence that can still go.
He turned their season around.
Could they go get somebody else like a Connor McDavid at the deadline? I don't know. They would have to shell out their whole core in order for that to happen. But there's other young players that they could consider. I know Montreal has, was it Suzuki? Young rookie player, second-year player.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, I think he was one of, not the rookie of the year, but he's a really good young player, two-way player that they could probably poach for some future draft picks because they're in win-now mode anyway, so they could go bring him in. Ottawa's got a lot of young players that they could probably take. So Florida will be active at the deadline for someone. It's just a matter of, who and where. And I like the fact that they kept their whole core together.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
The big question was whether they could or couldn't in the offseason. But they all want to stay together and run it back again. So.
I think that is the most dangerous thing when you have good teams with people willing to take less money to stay together. And
take notes, LeBron.
When dynasties happen, that is literally what you see. Let me ask you this question, Matt. I just asked Nick that, and you can come back on this and ask you. If Edmonton or Carolina don't do it, and Florida gets their three-peat, and their players are taking less money to stay together, what would it take when will they lose? Let's put it that way. What would it take to beat them? Because usually what you see happen is people want they want to get paid.
So in order for Florida to keep winning, they also they can't. I don't know the offhand the average age on their team, but they need to eventually offload players to get speed.
To get younger.
Yeah, they have to at some point. So at some point, the Brad Marchand situation isn't going to be working out for them. He was great for this year, but they figured him out in Boston. They'll eventually figure him out in Florida. He just fit really well and they got hot at the right time. That doesn't mean that the same team is going to perform the same this upcoming year. So I feel like if they do three-peat, they're going to still have to, depending on how long the contracts these players signed, they'll definitely thin out their depth a little bit and sign new players in the third and fourth line, maybe even the second line. But they're going to try their hardest to keep their first two lines together because those are by far the most important.
Yeah.
And their penalty kill, which was phenomenal.
I actually have a somewhat different response.
Back of the class, Nick. Okay, let's see what you got.
I'm participating. A super team. And I think I know a place where he could go.
Who's he?
Connor McDavid.
Oh.
I think if Edmonton doesn't win it this year, you got to blow it up. Because not only is McDavid on an expiring deal,
Yeah.
Drazatil is on an expiring deal, and so is Bouchard, which is basically their front three.
So is this the last hurrah for Edmonton?
Yes.
Pretty much.
So
If they don't win.
If they don't win, you blow it up.
Yeah.
Blow it up. It's 3 years in a row against the same team.
Yeah, 3 years in a row
can't-
against the same team, and he was expected to have won earlier than these past 3 years, too.
Yes. And McDavid is expected to become the highest paid player in history,
Yep.
which he will be.
And he disappeared in the finals this year. Granted, that might not all be his fault.
Which it wasn't.
Will that
It
hurt his
wasn't.
contract?
No. I think there's two possible places he could go. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on it.
Inquiring minds want to know, and you keep looking at Matt, so now...
Because
we're really
I could
curious.
see him teaming up with his Canadian buddy, Sidney Crosby.
I would love that.
In Pittsburgh with Malkin. Like you said, they got to get younger. McDavid is not even in his prime yet. They have the money to do it eventually. So there's that one. Or
Load off Erik Karlsson and Jari, and you will.
Or he could go to the Carolina Hurricanes, who just acquired one of the better defensemen in the league, who's 25. They already are a second-round playoff team, and you put Connor McDavid in that atmosphere in Carolina, where when they play at home, aside from the Florida Panthers, they almost never lose.
I mean...
Imagine him rocking that black and red Canes. Tough. Tough.
Aside from the half chub that I got for thinking about him on the Pittsburgh Penguins, I honestly think that he'd go to Boston.
You could do that too. Historic franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. Nick and Matt don't know this yet, and I don't even think you, the fans, know it yet. But I think what we'll do next year, as we grow, and by next year I mean this fall, because that's usually when sport seasons for us start.
That'll be the official launch of season 2.
I think what we'll do is, I think we're gonna take our show on the road for a little bit. I think we will have to go to a game.
Yep.
For a weekend. Obviously, only a weekend. We have 9 to 5s.
Hey, we can go to the Colonials game.
But
Good.
Colonial who?
The Westcon Colonials.
Absolutely not.
They're the Wolves now.
Oh, you're right.
Racist.
No, we'll either
I'm
get up.
kidding.
We'll get out to Long Island. We'll get into the city, or we'll go up to Boston,
for sure.
and we'll hit a hockey game. You know, you know what? You guys tell us which game we should go to, within driving distance or train distance. If Matt's driving, we can get anywhere in 6 hours and 3, so we're good there. But
there might be a faster driver in the group.
that out of us,
Nick almost killed us like multiple times.
Look, obviously-
First of all, that is not true. It wasn't almost.
well, we're not dead, so. I digress.
Almost pulled over. Sure.
That is my fault.
Was nowhere near a,
Just so
passing car.
you know, you were correct. It is Nick Suzuki.
Yeah.
His name. I want to just make sure you got that.
It sounded very familiar.
That correct.
Yeah, he's really good on the Canadiens.
But we are going to move forward because we have some topics to talk about.
Topic 2.
Number 2.
I might be picking poison ivy out of my teeth right now.
Major League Baseball. that was just uncalled for. People are like, why are you chomping on my poison ivy?
It's for immunities.
Basically. We're going to move to Major League Baseball. Fellas, we are pretty far into the season. What are we? I'll say a third, but we're further than that along.
Probably almost halfway.
Halfway through the season almost.
I think we're a little. I
It's
think
like
we're a
86
little. I think
games?
we're a little more than half.
Yeah, it's
More than
86
half, right?
games in or so. It's like
Yeah.
some teams are like 40 or 46.
Because the season's 162, so half would be 81.
Yeah,
So
they're about half.
They're probably about 90 games in.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you know what?
80 or 90.
and some games are delayed too.
I think the All-Star games
90
in like
games. We're 90 games in.
All-Star
Yeah.
games in like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
So we got a good sample size right now.
Yep.
Nick, I think I started with you, so we're going to start with Matt on this one.
Woohoo!
Matt, I'm going to ask you this. What teams do you feel are overachieving or underachieving? Are teams where you thought they would be? Is there a team that stands out to you right now?
I'm gonna say that there's a team. It's not necessarily underachieving because they were doused with injuries, specifically at the pitching position,
Mm-hmm.
but definitely not where I expected them to be by this point in the season, and that's the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
They have 6 pitchers with Tommy John. Yeah, that need Tommy John surgery. That is an absolute decimation. If you don't have solid pitchers, you're not going to make it anywhere in the league.
So let me clarify. So they have 6 pitchers who need to go have the surgery?
There's 6 players on the 40-man roster who are out with Tommy John surgery or revisions. Puck Henry, Justin Martinez, notable names. Corbin Burns, Jordan Montgomery, Blake Walston. Christian Mena has a shoulder injury. Kendall Graveman has a hip injury. They're just doused. Yeah. You know, they were looked at as one of the stronger teams coming into this season, and they just have a slew of season-ending injuries. Disappointment, just to keep it, I guess, so I can rant about 3 things. Pittsburgh, the Pirates showed some upside over the past 2 weeks.
Against who?
They swept the Mets.
There we go.
And then they also swept my former favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals. I think they outscored the Mets by no less than 7 runs per game. And they also went on a 4 or 5 game stretch of also having more than 7 runs per game. They started to turn it on. Skeens wasn't even playing for a while. And then he played against, he threw a no-hitter through 5 or 6 innings against the Cardinals. They were starting to get some hitters, which they haven't had all season, and I felt bad for Skeens. And I just wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on a better team due to the fact that he has no supporting help. So am I disappointed in the Pirates every year? Do I think they should be sold? Yes. Am I impressed with teams? I'm impressed with the Yankees because of all the Soto talk preseason and how, you know, we didn't know if they were going to get back to where they were, and they got a whole bunch of role players that have been doing very well for them this season. I don't want to jinx what they're doing, but they've been impressive to me for all the talk in the offseason of losing the $765 million man. I'm going to pass it to Nick on that note.
Yeah, well, before we give it to Nick, we're going to say 700-plus man on a difference of $15 million to not come back to New York.
Right.
But I will say this, is that that is where I would go with it. We live in the New England area. We will always reference that. New York, in Connecticut, you majority of the time respect the New York or Boston team. There are exceptions, but those are the 2 major cities that are closest to us. So you grew up one of the way. Like, parents usually instill it into their kids. I grew up a Yankee fan. My dad was a diehard Yankee fan. He refuses to support the Dodgers. I get it. He's one of those old guys who refuse to do it.
And Aaron Judge has been phenomenal this year.
What it took this year, and I think you'll hear it if you go back to maybe one of our first few shows, was I was very skeptical about what would happen this year without Soto. And I think Nick had to talk. He's like, look, you got a lot of good pieces for instead of signing one really good one. And it was hard because Soto played very well in the playoffs. Like, we paid Aaron Judge, and huge Judge fan. He did not show up in the playoffs. Soto did. So when we let Soto go, I was not looking at the season. I was like, well, what are we going to do when we make the playoffs? Because Judge did not show up. And then we find out that our pitcher is going to have season-ending surgery.
Yep.
So
Garrett Cole, yeah.
Garrett Cole. So
Yep.
the outlook for the season for us was not great. And with the exception of the last week and a half, we've had a great season. We were in first place the longest time.
Yeah.
We didn't get killed against the Dodgers when we played them. I think we won 1 out of the 3 games right away. We played the Dodgers, so there was hope there. We hit a little rough patch. We're 3-7 in the last 10 games, and it would have been 2-8, but we just won the other day. So I like where we are. We're sitting in second place, 3 games behind, I believe, the Blue Jays.
And Judge is hitting like a
Judge
very high batting percentage.
He's on pace for year, what is this, 2 after the contract?
Yep.
Yeah.
To have an even better than the year he had before.
Yeah.
So we're, as of right now, and I don't want to jinx anything, even though I told you I don't believe in sports jinxes a few episodes ago. But right now, I think he's earning that contract for his regular season play. But when you have a team that has the history like the Yankees, it's about what you do in the playoffs. So his regular season contract numbers will be justified. And I'm happy about that because it's keeping us afloat. But I think what I want to see is next year when we get Garrett Cole back and if we can bring this energy with that next year, I'm very excited. I don't see it this year. So to me personally, I think we are overachieving this year, which makes me happy. So I will throw it to Nick now. And Nick, overachievers, underachievers, who should we keep our eye on? Who are we looking at?
Well, the one team that I'm keeping my eye on for the second half of the season are the never talked about but should be talked about Chicago Cubbies, baby. Reason being, they have the second best record in the National League after not making the playoffs last year. They have a phenomenal 1-2 punch. I'm going to butcher the first guy's name, I think. Actually, no, I'm not. Seiya Suzuki and Pete Crow. If you don't know Pete Crow Armstrong, know that name. PCA, Pacific Coast Academy. Pete Crow Armstrong, 23 years of age, batting .270 with a .308 on base percentage, 23 home runs, 66 RBIs, and 26 stolen bases. He pairs with Seiya Suzuki, who leads the major leagues in RBIs with 75. It is not Aaron Judge. It is Seiya Suzuki. They also have their ace, who I believe is 8-3 with a 2.65 ERA, that being Matthew Boyd. I think if Chicago makes moves for a pitcher or two, say a disgruntled Max Scherzer, just to name someone, maybe a Jacob deGrom, because the Rangers aren't doing very well, or at least, I believe they're the defending champs and they're just not playing very well. But Chicago, they're my overachiever for the first half of the year. Also, just want to give one special shout out for an overachieving player, that player being Cal Raleigh of the Mariners, who is having an all-time historic season for a catcher in Major League Baseball. 35 home runs as a switch-hitting catcher before the All-Star break, which is absolutely insane. Could get some votes for the American League MVP, but it'll probably be Judge.
I forgot about the Tigers.
Yeah. Well, they've been pretty good the whole year. They're not really overachieving.
I'm saying, last year they overachieved, in my opinion, and I didn't know if they were going to be able to keep it up. But
Scooble's been phenomenal.
It's unreal. I think he's probably going to make the American League all...
the Cy Young?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Or just the All-Star.
I think he is the starter.
He is?
I believe so. At pitcher.
I mean, he's been unbelievable.
Also, Gleyber Torres, former Yankee, is balling out in Detroit. He's having a great year. He's doing what the Yankees asked him to do.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
But, yeah, I mean, there was like a stat they had, I think like late April, early May, and it was like the last time they had this, I forgot what the stat was, they ended up going to the World Series. So Detroit could go to the World Series. They've probably been the most consistent American League team this year.
What's his name, McKinstry or whatever?
Yeah.
He's getting to be having a high walk rate, which that means that you're earning a pitcher's respect for those who don't watch baseball. and they don't want you like a couple years ago when they were just walking Aaron Judge for like, what was it, like 20 something straight games. The DraftKings was throwing specials at you and refunding you for them walking Judge. I don't know if you ever took any of those specials.
They should make a over/under walks bet, since they just happen all the time now.
Yeah.
Intentional walks should be a prop bet.
And that's it's a facet of the sport I don't like, but have to deal with.
Yeah. Can I throw a curveball at you guys real quick since we're talking overachievers, underachievers?
And baseball?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, pun not included. Contenders, pretenders. I'm looking at the Mets, and for those of you, that's the other New York team. Their June was not so good.
No.
They played basically all the teams in front of them in June. And they went from first to almost worst in there. Call a spade a spade. They played the Dodgers. Sorry, hold up. They played the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Brewers, I think the Padres, and their record is not very good against those teams in front of them. And actually now I think they finally jumped back ahead of the Brewers. If you can't beat those teams in front of you and you literally plummeted and now you are fourth in the NA and National League, are you a contender or a pretender? What do you think the Mets are, Nick?
So
I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
No, it's totally fine. I'm actually going to look at this as a glass half full approach for the Mets because they are playing these teams in June. And as we know, you are not the same team in June as you are in September. The Mets obviously got off to a very hot start. Mm-hmm. They are still one of the best home baseball teams in baseball, especially at night. If the Mets have a home game at night, do not bet against the Mets. That's all I'm going to say. Yes.
Which all playoff games will be for the most part.
Pretty much. Now, yes, they didn't have a good second half of June.
Second half.
The last few weeks, yes, were very rough. They got swept by the Rays, swept by the Braves, 1 out of 3 against the Phillies, 2 out of 4 against the Braves, swept by the Pirates, which was embarrassing, for sure. And I think they won 2 out of 4 against Milwaukee. I think one game got postponed.
And I think they lost 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, too.
Before that, yes. But they won 2 out of... I'm not going to say they hit their bottom. I think that was a bottom for the Mets. Now, also Griffin Canning tore his Achilles, one of their better pitchers. So that, to me, is the bigger issue. I think they hit a bottom. They hit a lull. Every team does. The Yankees had a bigger lull than the Mets did.
We did.
17 out of the last 23 games were losses.
Mm-hmm.
You can say the same thing about the Yankees, too. They hit a lull. Bats are going to come alive.
We can, but I will say again, and obviously Yankee fan defending, our expectations this year were not where theirs were.
Correct.
So that's where my question is coming from.
Well, I mean, I think the Yankees and Mets actually, not to say that's similar expectations, because the Mets went 6 games with the Dodgers in the NLCS, and they left a lot of runners in scoring position and in bases loaded situations. They could have won that series. And then the Yankees basically, when they brought Nestor Cortez in Game 1.
Stop bringing back these memories.
World Series was over.
Yeah.
Basically at that point. I think he threw 3 pitches and then lost the game.
The game was set way before Game 1 that time.
Oh, yeah. We were in Brewster all together.
I was so angry.
Yep.
Yeah. Were we at the pool hall?
Yeah.
And I literally said... I literally looked at Cam and I said, that is the last pitch Nestor Cortez will throw as a Yankee. And it was.
We should have started the podcast back then.
Well, that goes to the point where I was making the joke. Well, they let, what's his name, back in Edmonton after the...
Skinner?
Skinner. No. And it was the Nestor Cortez. Do you let Nestor Cortez back into New York after what he just did?
No, because that's 2 seasons in a row you did the same thing.
Nope. And to think that they were considering making him the ace over Garrett Cole 2 years ago.
Again, I will say it again. Garrett Cole played great in the playoffs. We did not give him any help.
You can't do that in that situation.
We did not give him any help in the playoffs.
Right.
Sorry.
But...
Thank you for wanting to resign, though, Garrett Cole.
Was that Game 1?
It was close.
That was Game 1.
That was Game 1.
But anyway, if you're the Mets, though, you still have over 50 wins, I believe.
Yep, you do.
52
or 53. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You just beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. You had 2 out of 4 in your last series. you're starting to see the bats come alive again. I think I'm going to say they are still contenders because the National League is not very deep. If you're looking at the contenders out of that conference, you have your Dodgers, Cubs, Mets, Phillies, and then it's kind of open from there for your wild card.
A bit.
So the Mets can still be a top 2 or 3 team in the National League. I'm going to say they're still contenders for the time being. The Yankees, I would actually say, are less of contenders than the Mets are. Just because of how strong, not only is the American League East, probably the best division in baseball, where every team but Baltimore has a winning record, but you still have the Astros, you still have Detroit, Cleveland, actually Seattle's not a bad team either.
And
so
you got the Pirates sitting at 3rd worst in the National League.
Right. So, I think the Yankees and Mets still have to, obviously prove that this was a lull.
Yeah.
But I think both teams will do that. I still expect the Yankees to make a deep push in October.
Mm-hmm.
And I also expect the Mets to be there as well. So I'm going to say glass half full, the Mets are contenders still.
Okay.
I'm going to just briefly agree with Nick. The Mets, when the bats are hot, are a very hot team. They could win on the road or at home. As Nick brought up, I would have brought up that they are an outstanding home team, and they have been for years.
Don't go to Queens after 7 p.m.
Yep.
You will lose.
So,
Don't go to Queens and
that being said, they could have made it to the World Series last year. They didn't. They thought that Juan Soto was going to be that last piece that they needed, and they were willing to go balls deep for him.
Wow.
And, teams have their slumps, and teams get out of slumps, and they can have all-time highs at the same time. So it's very early. If we were seeing these lulls in September, October, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But being that it is only midway through the season, we see teams that shouldn't be winning games, like the Pirates, get hot for a short period of time, but they will cool off, and they will still be a horrible franchise.
So you think it's just mid-season slumps, dog days of summer?
Yeah.
Plus, they
it's been very hot over here.
They both got off to really fast starts.
Yep.
Whereas a team like the Tigers was kind of just this constant progression. They've kind of just stayed level.
You might see a dip there.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't think the AL Central is very good outside of Detroit and Cleveland.
Yeah.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
We could be in August saying, what the hell happened to Skubal?
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
Max Fried was in my opinion, the Cy Young winner up until they played Detroit.
Detroit is 14 games ahead of second place Minnesota.
So even at Cleveland's not even an issue right now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, they're 17 games over Cleveland.
Yeah, they have a huge lead already, so they may,
But I think when you have a huge lead, you can afford a dip or two because that's I think where the Yankees were. They had a decent sized lead, went through this, and they're only 3 games back, as opposed to
the Blue Jays of all teams.
Exactly. Unless you're Boston, because Boston I thought started off pretty decent. Well, they started off slow, had a good stretch, were challenging, and then they just fell off.
And even they still have a winning record.
Yeah, 46 and 45, 1 game. But
one game over 500.
Still over 500. That's where you start.
Yep.
Okay, so we saw some ups and downs from a lot of teams. You're saying summer dog days of summer. It's been hot in New England.
Yep.
Okay, we can see and chalk it up to some losses for that. Okay. Is there a team we should keep our eye on that maybe we haven't mentioned?
Well, I said the Cubbies. In the American League.
Either league.
So
you think the Cubs? Is that where you want to?
Well, I would have said the Cubbies. I think there's. Let me just. Ironically, I did talking to a friend off air, and I did say that the Red Sox could make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I
still think they can. I think they have a really good roster. So
I think they're in contention for it right now.
Yeah, the whole AL East is pretty much open at this point.
Yeah.
But so is the wild card. But yeah, I'm gonna say. Well, actually, scratch that. I'm gonna pick the Mariners.
Seattle.
Yes, Mariners and the Padres, and the Cubbies. Those are my 3 teams.
Mariners, Padres, Cubbies. Keep your eye on those teams. Matt.
I'm just gonna say Astros.
Oh, that's a good one.
They get hot at the right
Astros.
time, and they just swept the Dodgers. over this past weekend. So I really think that they also won 2 years ago.
Astros?
I believe so.
Is that sign stealing?
That was pre-COVID, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because I know the
Astros
Braves
won
won a few years ago,
Petty.
too.
Just
Let me
petty.
see.
Because last year was the
'Cause I
Dodgers.
think
No,
I-
it was the Rangers. No, it was the Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Then the season before that was the Texas Rangers.
I think it was Houston Astros, not the Rangers.
It might have been. I don't know.
When did...
I believe
Yeah,
they
I
last...
bet the Astros to win, so I think I got that one right. I bet them before the playoffs started. When did the
Gamblers
Astros
always remember what they
win?
bet for.
True.
That's how it rolls.
They won in 2022,
So 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, because then it was the... Did it go Dodgers, Rangers, Dodgers?
I think Astros, Rangers, Dodgers.
Ah, Astros, Rangers, Dodgers. So the Braves were before that. They were 21.
Yep.
Braves were 21.
And then Astros
Okay.
won again in 2017, which is way
That's
before.
That was the
funny
sign
how
stealing.
time flies. It was 21 when the Braves won.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
4 years
Because
ago.
I was literally just thinking, like, the Braves won
Yeah.
a year or two ago. It was a while ago.
4 years ago.
Sorry, Atlanta family. It was 4 years ago. You can't brag about it anymore.
Actually, my underachieving team was the Atlanta Braves.
Oh.
I just want to mention that because I believe they only have 39 wins right now, and they, I believe, had 89 wins last year. So, yeah, not good.
Hold on.
And they're like, them and the Nationals are like
39 and 50.
awful right now. Nationals just fired their coach and GM.
I mean,
So-
37 they should.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What?
Hold on.
No, what? No.
Matt is fact checking a stat.
Yes, he is.
Is it the World Series wins?
Yeah, it looks like it was... I don't know what the red in here is.
Are you trying to find the last 5 World Series champions?
Winning team... Oh, the winning team is on the left. Okay. So, yes, it was...
Probably Reds American, Blues National, probably.
So, it was... Yeah, that's what it is. So, LA Dodgers won against the Yankees last year. We know that.
Yes.
It was 4-1.
Yes.
Texas Rangers won the year before that against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It was also 4-1.
Yep.
And then the Astros beat the Phillies in 2022.
That was
and
in
the Braves
7.
won in 2021,
Right.
and the
Yes.
Dodgers won again before that.
Oh, yeah, because 2022 was Eagles and Phillies.
Yep.
Both lost.
Yeah.
It was a sad day
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
It was. Okay. I like it. Well, all comments out there, we're doing pretty well. I'm going to switch up the topics. And just to make Matt suffer, we're going to start with Nick on this one. Nick,
Yes, sir.
we are... It is June. It is July.
July.
We are 2 months away, a month basically away from football starting.
Preseason. man.
Preseason, yes, but still
Actually,
starting.
what's today? The 6th?
6th.
We are 25 days away from the Hall of Fame game.
That's the game that nobody plays?
No,
Yes.
they play.
They
Is
play
it-
three plays each.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
One series.
Um,
Yeah, it's early this year.
I don't. Why do they do it on that date? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know, but they just do.
Is this one
it's early.
overseas?
No, it's it can. It's at the Hall of Fame.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
they
they're
did
just-
one
they're doing
overseas recently.
They may be doing it. I don't know if they're doing it overseas, but it's early this year
We'll do some
because
research.
the
as we-
NFL regular season starts early this
Yeah,
year.
which
Starts on the 4th
we'll see
of
how
September.
we'll see how I feel about that afterwards after the
Yeah.
season. But
Anyway,
let's talk free agency NFL. We've had
Okay.
some moves. Some teams I think have gotten better. Some teams clearly gotten worse.
yes.
Not so much teams where you taking the draft out of the equation, just strictly free agency.
Got it.
As I know we did have draft, rookie camps have started. Some players look good, some players don't. We'll talk more about that down the road as we get closer to the season starting. But
Okay.
the last 2 weeks we've had a few trades. Some trades, some free agency signings. Which one stood out to you like this is going to be the one that's going to challenge us?
Seeing as I'm the Bird fan here, go Birds. No one will challenge it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's actually not true. I think there's a couple of teams that I have in mind, or at least a couple of moves. I think I hate to just speak about the Eagles here, but that's
No.
just what I know.
But you know what? If it's we said free agency trade signings, if it's going to make you better, then
Us.
by all means.
passing on Jair Alexander, I think, will be a mistake because he ended up going to the Ravens. I think that's a huge pickup by the Ravens. Matt is convulsing over here.
Yeah.
I think the two big concerns for Philadelphia right now are right guard, because we have a new one, Kenyon from the Texans, who we traded Chauncey for, and corner 2. We let Slay walk, which was inevitable. Quinyon is now corner 1, inevitable, drafted in the first round. I do not want us to put DeJean on the outside. He has his established spot in the slot. He's more versatile that way. And I believe they're going to try to put Kelly Ringo out there, former Georgia Bulldog. But I think if we brought in Alexander, I think the Ravens that's a big move that I think will pay dividends for them, because they're trying to get to the AFC Championship game, if not the Super Bowl. It's a must-win year for Baltimore. It is. It's a must-win year for Buffalo.
I am making faces because I want to go in on this conversation, but I know that this is not the time right now to have it.
And then there was one other move that I thought was pretty interesting. I think I might have to look it up real quick. Bear with me for a few moments. Doom, 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 doom. Oh! It was Chris Godwin staying in Tampa Bay. That was the other one. He turned down a $100+ million contract offer from the Patriots and re-signed with Tampa Bay for half the money. Godwin, when he is healthy, is one of the 30 best receivers in the league. I don't care what anyone says. He is a dog. He's a 1 pretty much anywhere else, except for Philly and actually he'd probably be the 1 in Dallas. Anywho, him staying. You still have Mike Evans. They drafted Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. Baker had statistically the best year of his career last year throwing the football. They won the NFC South. I don't think the NFC South is stronger than it was last year.
I think it's worse.
Personally, I think it's worse. Obviously you still have Atlanta, who has talent. But Tampa Bay is sitting in a potential playoff spot again. But they just loaded up again. Their receiving core is going to be disgusting. So
we also got to see a full season with Atlanta.
True.
Well, I think we're setting expectations for Atlanta, but we're giving them a way out because we saw what they had last year. And I think we're hoping Michael Penix is the answer based off of the talent they have on their roster.
Because they got Kyle Pitts,
yes,
Drake London, and
who I'm a
Mooney.
huge fan of.
Darnell Mooney,
Yeah.
I believe he's still on the team.
Bijan,
yep.
Yeah.
Kyle
So
Pitts.
The running back. Yeah,
they have a good team. The question will be at quarterback.
And they went defense heavy in the draft.
They still have Kirk, which is maybe good or bad.
Yeah, is that like a?
Well, they're going to start
logo?
Penix.
I think we'll see.
That's a giant contract you have on the bench.
Well, we'll see. I think.
I believe they
I
came out and
agree.
said they're starting Penix.
I think they did come out and say it, but I feel like Kirk will start.
I hope so, because that'll make my Tampa Bay take better.
But I think what's his name? Oh my gosh, Tampa Bay quarterback
Baker.
I think Baker is in a very good situation because you can see the Bucks aren't building to beat their conference because they know their roster's already better. They're working to win outside of their division, and Godwin knows this. You took less money. In the grand scheme of things, he will probably make more money. But at the same time, not to be a jerk, you got your ring.
Yes, he did.
You got your ring as the number 2 receiver. Maybe 3, depending on how you look at it. Or third option, definitely. You got your ring. You can do whatever you want to do. You want to take less money and stay where you are on a better team? By all means, do it. I would love to see him as a Patriot, but at the same time, if I'm Godwin, that may not be where I go this year. Now, if it were next year and we could see what the quarterback was going to look like after his year 1 experience, that might be a different story. But I think if you're going to go somewhere strictly for money, you should go to New England. If it's about football, like we were saying earlier, and hockey stars taking less money to keep the roster together, then that's what you do. Anybody outside of Mike Evans, I feel, should be taking less money on that team. Mike Evans, you can do what the hell you want.
Yep.
But Godwin's been hurt. So if you're like, well, you should take the money because you've been hurt, you may not get a contract like that again. All right. But if you want to win, he did the right thing.
Yeah.
And we will get into more football talk as the dates come closer, which I am very excited for. Matt, that ends our conversation on football. So
what?
No, I'm just kidding. Matt, trades. Your team's been at the center of some pretty big ones. It's for big free agent signings. I don't think we spoke about it yet this year, so I'll let you go off on both of those a little bit. Are you contenders or pretenders?
Steelers?
Mm-hmm. And then I got a question for you.
I have the answer to that question, but go ahead.
You can talk about the trades
Hold
too.
on.
I'll just answer the question.
Hold on.
Guys, this is also why I need video.
Here we go.
Matt has
Here we
big
go.
faces.
Oh, he's standing up. Wait, hold on. I'm going to move over. I feel like he's going to yell. I'm going to move over.
Okay,
Hold
we're
on.
going to back the mic up if you're...
I'm also going to film him. Hold on. No. Okay, go ahead. There. Yes, he's got his own little safe space. Go ahead.
So, am I okay with the trade? Hold on a second. Let me get through my hypothetical, and then I will answer that question.
You answer this however you
The floor,
want.
it's open for
So
it.
recently, just for those who have missed this, because the Steelers are never this active in free agency,
Open forum, Matt.
Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith are now Pittsburgh Steelers, and Minka Fitzpatrick, who was originally drafted by the Miami Dolphins, has returned back. They basically loaned him to the Steelers, and we're now collecting interest. We got Jalen Ramsey, who I'm fine with. It was desperately needed to get a corner. I did not think Darius Slay was the answer, being his age, and the fact that he was letting up. He was not the primary reason the Eagles won the Super Bowl on defense, by any means. He was actually pretty useless back there.
And now he's a Steeler.
Yeah. So was he the blockbuster free agent I wanted them to go out? No. I wanted fucking Jair Alexander, and he went to the Ravens. They had the money to do it. I'm okay with them offloading Minka Fitzpatrick because he's been slowly declining. He is making Pro Bowls for what reason, I don't know, because there's better safeties in the league than him at the moment. Where am I going with this? Jonnu Smith, I don't know why he got added to the team other than Arthur Smith just gets attached to players like Cordero Patterson, and like you could have traded for Kyle Pitts, but you chose Jonnu Smith. Granted, he did come off a great year. He has great hands, but we have Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington, Cam Hayward, and Mikael Pruitt. 4 tight ends. Now we have 5. What are we going to do with all those tight ends? Granted, he likes running, and the only blocking tight end on the team is Darnell Washington. Now, the big question in the room on whether there are going to be contenders or pretenders. Now TJ Watt is suddenly on the trade block.
He might be an Eagle.
Afterwards.
And the Eagles are yet again at the top of the list to get one of these top players. I don't know where they get all the value from.
Howie Roseman, baby.
I am so hoping that this trade breaks while we're live, but it probably wouldn't.
No, it won't.
Continue.
Because he will storm out.
I am open to shopping TJ Watt.
Wow.
He is in his 30s. He is injured quite frequently because he is, quite frankly, carrying the team. However, if you're demanding $40+ million and wanting to be either the highest paid player on the team or one of the highest paid players in the NFL, I think it is time for the Steelers to depart from TJ Watt, granted all of his excellence. But give me a break, the Philadelphia Eagles being in yet another trade conversation. He honestly might go to the Packers.
I mean, what's his name? Myles Garrett reset that market right on time.
And I haven't brought up the George Pickens trade yet.
You can. Look, this is your open forum.
George Pickens, first of all, I am fine with the trade. I'm not fine with the timing of the trade. The timing of the trade came right after the NFL draft, in which we acquired 3 draft picks for George Pickens after the draft. How does that help you win now? That is a futures move. You signed Aaron Rodgers, which we all knew was going to happen. And that doesn't help him. We have Robert Woods, who's like a wide receiver 4 now.
Bobby Trees, baby.
You got Calvin Austin the third, who is like 5'8". You got Roman Wilson, who couldn't even learn the playbook last year, and that's why he didn't play. And you got DK Metcalf, who's exceptional. So you got a bunch of wide receiver 3 and 4s in DK Metcalf. And Amari Cooper is still sitting out there as a free agent.
Is he?
Yes.
Wow. Come to Philly.
He may.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Everybody else
Can you guys address the positions of need? Thank you for getting a corner. But if you think if the Steelers trade TJ Watt for just draft picks, forget it. They're not contenders. They need players. You need to get either a top pass rusher or a slightly above average pass rusher in return, or get a second wide receiver 1 in return for TJ Watt, and then I will say we are contenders.
So, for the record, are you a contender or a pretender?
Right now, no.
I want to hear you say it.
Pretender.
Okay.
Jeez.
Well, I'm sorry for those of you who had to turn the mic volume down because somebody was yelling into the mic. But just another side note, when we have camera, you guys are going to... I can't wait. It'll be here for football season. But you will see Matt and his little epic Steeler moments live on camera because they are classic. Let's expand a little bit. We've gone on it a little, so I want to ask Nick. I'm going to put you on the same topic we had Matt on about the Steelers.
Okay.
You brought up Jair Alexander. Obviously, would have been a good person to go anywhere. Went to the Ravens. We're not going to address that part yet. Matt saying his team were pretenders. In your heart of hearts, looking non Go Birds bias, are they the closest team you would say to challenging the Eagles?
Who, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
No.
After these trades.
No.
No.
Not even close.
They're
not even going to make the playoffs.
Oh, that I don't.
I was going to say, does this trade move the needle for them? But you don't think that
They're not making the playoffs.
Why not? Let's hear.
Well, one, they're not winning their division.
For those of us who don't know, I know, but who's in their division? Tell them.
Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland.
Okay.
I don't think they're better than Baltimore. I think they're not because if you're looking at the landscape of the AFC, let's paint it out. I'm gonna be objective, and I'm not just gonna do this.
Well, your team's not in the AFC, so it works out.
Well, that and I don't want to piss Matt off.
I don't care.
Oh no, I'll have a retort. Regardless.
If you're looking at the AFC, you have Buffalo, you have Baltimore, you have Kansas City, Denver, who's going to be very good this year. I don't care what anyone says.
Stop looking at me. We're good.
Bo Nix is a franchise quarterback in the making. I think Cincinnati was the hottest team in the league the second half of the season, not named Philadelphia. If they didn't start 1-5, they would have made the playoffs.
Joe Burrow won the MVP.
Yep. You also have Houston. So that's 6 right there. The Patriots are improved on paper. I think more than the Steelers are. And that's with them acquiring DK Metcalf, which I still think was a great trade. I thought them getting DK was great. But then you let out Pickens for basically nothing.
Cheetos.
Right. And I don't think they're going to get as much as they think if TJ Watt is traded. Because they're going to trade him to a contending team. That's just my opinion.
Trade him to the Dolphins for Tyreek Hill. Let's get it. Let's get another Dolphin.
That would be an interesting dynamic, but I don't think that's happening. So I already think of 5 to 6 teams that I think are going to have better years than them. Plus they don't play Cleveland well.
Yeah.
in Cleveland.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't see them getting out of. I don't see them going to the playoffs. I don't see it.
So because we're already beating a dead
Question.
horse here,
You know
let
what?
me ask you a question, Matt.
I'm gonna pull up their schedule and I'll just ask Matt, and I'm gonna
The
just go
schedule's
game
rather
by game.
difficult.
Let's look at it this way. Right now, we're saying pretenders. There's a few what if scenarios. We're gonna go on one of the probably a decent what if scenario actually.
Mm-hmm.
T.J. Watt gets traded
Yep.
To the Eagles.
to somewhere. You think about in your head what the best return you feel would be for him before you answer this question. Knowing the impact he has on defense, if you lose T.J. Watt and you get your pieces that you're thinking of back in your head, does that make you a contender? Or it's a huge loss, we would basically be rebuilding?
Here's my thought on T.J. Watt. Prior to last season, he was unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, teams neutralized him with the chip and double team all season.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no production from the other side in terms of sacks because Alex Highsmith was in and out of the lineup. Now they added depth with, I forget his name, but he was on Ohio State. They stole him in the third round.
Jack Sawyer.
Jack Sawyer.
That was a steal.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm confident with depth at that position. Is Jack Sawyer by any means T.J. Watt? No. And he probably, because T.J. is not attending minicamp or training camp thus far
Nor should he.
for holdout purposes, so he's probably not learning from T.J. Watt.
Good point.
Yeah, that concerns me slightly. However, is it make or break? No, because teams would play you normal and you would be able to get pressure with a four-man rush rather than extra blocking and needing to rely on blitzes to get pressure, which is what was happening with the Steelers last year. They were getting no pressure. They were trying to rush four-man. They couldn't because TJ was getting double-teamed every time. And yes, Alex and Nick Herbig were playing great, but it wasn't consistent enough. Cam Hayward's getting old. They have a couple of gap players. They got the dude from Oregon who's going to be nasty, Derek Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
That might help burst. So I'm thinking that their interior line is going to have improved enough to where if you offload T.J. Watt for another current good player, not Picks, because Picks does not help you by any means this year. You would rather have T.J. for the year, and then if he's got to go in free agency, he's got to go. And then you have that extra cap space to go get somebody in free agency, which Omar Khan has been known to do as of late.
So you said another good player. Who would you unload T.J. Watt for? I know you said
I got two players that I
Tyreek
mind.
Hill, but
I got Tyreek Hill and I got Terry McLaurin.
That's
Because Terry McLaurin is also in a holdout.
before I'm just thinking in my head, but I should not let the mic go silent while I do it. Nick,
He's got his hand up.
thank you for raising your hand.
And I also need to reply to him after he's done.
Would you like to? Who would you trade T.J. Watt for?
If you're looking to get a player,
Correct.
Yes.
I'm looking at San Francisco, and I'm going after Brandon Ayuk.
I do not agree.
The reason being, I know he's coming off an injury.
Mm-hmm.
You actually can probably get Ayuk and Picks because the 49ers are offloading their team in the next few years. It is imminent.
Mm.
They've already traded Deebo Samuel. I think they've invested too much money in George Kittle, as well as Brock Purdy.
Too much in Brock.
Trent
Purdy, for
Williams is going to be retiring soon.
I think George Kittle is the 49ers.
Yes, they still have Christian McCaffrey. I don't see where they want to keep Ayuk's contract on the books because they're going to want to try to keep whatever's left of their defense. So I think acquiring someone like Ayuk to be the number 2.
You did say you wanted a number 2 receiver.
And what does Brandon Ayuk do the best that was missing from the Steelers' offense last season?
Drum roll, please.
Moderate to intermediate routes over the middle from both the outside and the slot. That is what's missing. The Steelers' offense, as constructed right now, is not dynamic enough because they don't have a backside receiver that can go across the middle. DK can go down and go get balls. Freiermuth can play short. They don't have that moderate to intermediate play action crossing receiver. That's what's missing, and that's what Ayuk does the best.
Can I
get them for cheap, and you can get picks from San Francisco.
So you think that we trade
Watt goes to San Francisco for Ayuk, and you can probably get a second-round pick conditional that becomes a first.
Would that mean, I just want to finish something real quick, would that mean you have Bosa on one side and Watt on the other?
Correct.
They both play the same side, though.
They can play both sides.
They can, but Watt is notably more
You can also
efficient
stand
from the
up
left.
TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Now you have hybrid defenses, and they just got Robert Saleh back.
Sounds to me like if you're San Francisco, you may.
That is a
you may
great
consider
trade.
that.
Plus Watt's on a shorter deal. If it doesn't work, okay, guess what? You freed up Ayuk's contract. You freed up Watt. Yeah, you may have and if he doesn't meet the conditions, you lose a second, not a first. So you could keep your first, ton of money open, and you just continue your rebuild. And if you're Pittsburgh, you get a number 2 wide receiver that fills a need for your offense. Because the number 2 corners in the AFC North aren't that good.
They're not. It's more receiver driven. You know.
Well,
just so
now
you
you got Jair Alexander and Marlon Humphreys.
Marlon Humphrey is overrated, in my opinion. He can't guard great receivers.
And that's what's a lot.
But he can guard number 2s.
Yeah, but who's guarding Metcalf? He'll bully Jair Alexander.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
So
for
those people who don't know, Matt has been making faces and jumping in his seat, and you've heard him say, "I got a rebuttal to that." So we are going to get.
So I know he's going to reply to the Steelers aren't making the playoffs.
No,
I'm replying to both of
He's
what you
replying
just
to all
said.
of them because apparently this is blasphemous coming out of his mouth. So Matt, I'm going to give you the open floor here to respond however you want.
Okay, I'm starting with Ayuk.
We may have to put a time limit on it, but we will do it. And
whatever you need.
The floor is yours.
Brandon Ayuk did not want to go to the Steelers last year, and he held out in San Francisco, had the option to go to Pittsburgh, chose not to, and then signed with San Fran. I don't think that's a good move for the Steelers, being that he didn't want to be there, especially off the injury, and especially for TJ Watt. You don't trade for Brandon Ayuk coming off an injury for TJ Watt and picks. I don't want the San Francisco picks unless they are fucking garbage this year. Which, if
They're
you have
not
a
making the playoffs either.
Again.
Hold on. Tyreek Hill can go over the middle.
Okay.
So trade for him. The Dolphins are already inclined to speak with us, being that they already traded half their roster to us over the last week.
That's true. Continue.
Making the playoffs. I mean, we've seen the AFC North, all the top 3 teams in the AFC North specifically. I mean, we've even seen it with the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers making it all at the same time. I really don't see Houston being that great. Houston will win their division, but nobody else in that division. Jacksonville stinks.
To me, Jacksonville's a question mark. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. They have the talent.
I like Cohen as their coach.
I want to see what they do. They overpaid their quarterback. We all know this.
Yeah.
But to me, they're a question mark. They can be really good, or they can flop.
Yeah.
We watched them flop, and they still paid their quarterback. So, to me, I'm not saying I disagree with you.
Yeah.
But if there's a question mark that we're gonna put out there, that would be my question mark.
My other question mark is I don't agree necessarily with the Broncos. I'm not going to go long-winded on that. I think the Chargers are more of an issue than the Broncos in that division. The Raiders are still, they need to show. I mean, I don't think Geno Smith is going to do anything to save that franchise.
I agree with that.
We'll see Drake May in year 2. They did notably get better on paper. Every other team, including the Bills, got worse. So I think the Bills will still win that division. Miami is now probably in rebuild mode already.
It's Buffalo, New England, Miami, and
the Jets are questionable. I really need to see how they perform through the first 3 weeks of the season.
Your old quarterback, right?
Yeah, Justin Fields is
We're gonna find out week 1.
He's an elite talent.
They're playing the Jets.
Yeah, they are, and we have a bet on it.
Is it in New York?
And
It's in New
we
York.
might end up having a bet on the Steelers-Patriots game because they play them week 3.
I mean, we could go week 1.
We could also go week 3. No, I think the Jets are playing in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah,
It's in New York.
It is in New York? Okay, so we can go to week 1 and
We'll
week
check
3.
We'll check prices.
It's the Jets.
It's also New York.
It's week 1. Everyone's got hope.
Yeah.
So the Steelers' opening games are the New York Jets win. They got DK Metcalf's old team and the Seahawks. That is actually going to be tougher than it sounds.
As presently constructed, what's his name? Is not
Sam
Jason
Darnold.
Sam Darnold is their quarterback.
Yep.
And Cooper Kupp.
I still think that's a win.
Oh, that is Cooper Kupp, right?
Cooper Kupp is over there, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is a good player.
Is that at Seattle?
No, that's in Pittsburgh.
Is it? No, yeah. Because in New York, we home opener in Pittsburgh versus Seattle, and then we go to Gillette Stadium to face
New England.
I think that Seattle game, we're going to learn a lot about that team.
Yep.
If Sam Darnold can recreate what he did in Minnesota.
He's voting 0-3. You want to take another wager on that? You want to take a
think
wager on that?
0-3? Oh.
You want to take a wager on
No,
that?
I'm kidding. They're not going to
We're
go. 1 and 2.
I said we're digressing. Matt, keep going because we're tangenting a little bit. I'm
So-
stop getting involved.
The fact, can you? I don't have the schedule up.
I have it up. All right.
I'm just gonna go through wins and losses as you speak.
Do you have a pen? You want to tally it up so we can see it?
Hey, I'll tally it up right here. Hold on. Please do.
And don't forget that they do have ties.
Oh my God! And the Steelers are known to have
Which
fucking
is
ties.
terrible.
Alright,
that's
so-
another discussion that we can have this offseason.
That is not even a discussion. That there should be no such
I'm
thing
gonna
as a tie in sports.
You know what? I'm gonna do a Matt, Nick, and Cam slide. Boom. Okay. Week 1 at New York Jets.
Steelers win.
I'm gonna say. Oh wait, am I guessing or just Matt?
All 3 of us.
I think.
I'm saying loss because we have a bet. We have a
I didn't
bet on
think
it.
about this one. You know what? Come back to me on that one.
Okay, we'll come back.
We'll come back to me on that one.
Week 2 is Seattle at home.
See,
Win.
I got a loss.
I am going to give you the win there.
I think that'll be the loss.
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna give you no. That's tough because the safety position's an issue for me.
Well, my question
with
is
the Steelers?
Steelers.
We still don't have a number 2 receiver.
Oh, and I didn't even discuss that. I can wait on that.
Because
Don't forget, we'll go in depth.
Well, they picked up.
You know what?
They picked up Thornhill, and they still have Deshaun Elliott.
You know what? I'm gonna give the experience factor to Pittsburgh.
Experience of what?
The quarterback position.
Okay.
And just overall team.
Not
Yeah.
that he's shown us anything the last few years, but okay.
He had 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns.
Okay, he's still in
All right, week 3. I know. I'm just saying. It's
Divide that by 2. It's only 15.
week 3 at New England.
I think they'll win at New England, and I hate obviously New England fan, but I give Aaron Rodgers a lot of credit. I think he takes it personal when he goes into New England. And to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time he was there, healthy, with a good roster, around him. That last time I think that he actually went in and was favored to win was probably when. Actually, I don't think he's really ever been favored to win in New England. Maybe last year, but I don't. I think that might be the only time. So I think this year would be. I think they'll win.
Mini rant. The Steelers lose to the Patriots every fucking time. Whether they're 2-10 or they're 11-0, they lose to them every time.
Notice my response was not Steelers. I said Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I did not say
So,
Steelers,
my preface on this game is if I'm watching it in person with Will Abiali,
which you will.
whether it's in the game, at the stadium, or at my house, if I'm with him, it's a loss.
So you're a jinx, is what you're saying.
I am not going to be watching
Will's
it
the
with.
jinx.
Yes, every time I
His team
watch it with them,
loses,
That's what I'm saying.
Every time I watch it with them,
That's
they-
why Will's the jinx. His team
Yeah.
loses.
So you don't watch.
they
it
are
with
going.
Will.
I'm not going to watch it with Will, or if I go with Will, I'm on the opposite side of the stadium. He could sit on the Patriots bench side. I will sit on the Steelers bench side, and the Steelers will win that game.
So this is a long way of saying who's winning it?
Steelers.
Steelers. Okay.
I'm picking New England because I think they play schematically into the Patriots' hand defensively.
I am very curious to see how we do things this
So
year.
you're saying dub. So you're
I
saying
am.
3-0.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm saying
So you didn't pick the Jet
1-1
yet.
right now. I
Yeah.
don't know about the Jet.
All right. Next game is Minnesota at home.
Loss.
I agree with that.
I will say this, and I know we're not going to get into it really, but I will say this. I think that's a very close game. I think that's J.J. McCarthy's coming out game.
I would think so.
And I think that will be the game.
I would
where-
think it's a high scorer, too.
I think that's his Rookie of the Year game.
So week 5 bye, which is
Oh.
not good for for Pittsburgh.
Early bye.
Week 6
Brutal.
Cleveland
Win.
Where?
at home.
Win.
Win.
I agree. That's a win. Well, Joe Flacco's their quarterback, so who knows?
If it's Kenny Pickett, it's guaranteed. If it's Kenny Pickett, it's 0 points on the board for them.
You'll win that game.
Yep.
Can we say win?
Yeah, I got them winning that game.
All right, that's a win. Week 7 at Cincinnati.
Loss.
I will say this: that's a loss, but I do
It's
not
a-
see them beating Cincinnati if they get rid of T.J. Watt. I don't care who you replace.
Yeah, he's the Joe Burrow killer on that team.
If you don't have T.J. Watt, he's lighting up. And by the way,
Oh, also, from the Cleveland game to at Cincinnati, it is a 4-day turnaround.
oh, that's a loss.
Yeah, loss.
So wait, what is that? It's Cleveland's a Sunday to Thursday.
It's a Sunday, and then Cincinnati's the Thursday,
Yeah, it's a loss.
and they're on the road.
Yes, loss.
They then follow that up with Green Bay at home, which is also
I think they lose
a
that game.
loss. Jordan
I-
Love about to have 400 yards against that defense.
I'm going to say loss for Green Bay as well.
I don't think you're winning that game.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to try to make that game about himself, and he's going to end up losing it for them.
Yes, it is. Week 9, a gimme game, Indianapolis at home.
Well, the gimme games for Steelers are the ones that we lose, but I'm going to say win.
At home,
It is at home.
that's a win.
That's a win.
Statistically, we own the Colts.
Week 10, at Los Angeles Chargers.
Win.
What day of the week?
It looks like it's a Sunday night.
That's a win.
At the Chargers, coming from the Colts, that's a win.
Yeah.
If they blow the Colts out, it's excellent.
Herbie is... I'm sorry, but
I don't think LA has the defense or the weaponry. I trust Pittsburgh's defense more.
I want to
would
see.
say that's a
they overperformed
We
last
gotta
year.
see what Justin Herbert does.
and they didn't re-sign a lot of those players.
Yeah,
They made a lot of salary dump moves.
yeah.
So I'll take the Steelers there. You're taking the Steelers?
Yeah.
All right. Done. Week 11, Cincinnati.
Win.
Again, I want to know what happens with T.J. Watt, but
Realistically,
I
TJ
think
will be on the
he'll be
team.
gone by then.
You think?
it's expiring year in a deal. You got to get rid of him this year or re-sign him,
Yeah.
or he walks next year.
Well, actually, the deadline's week 10. So, yeah, he'll probably
but
be
you
gone
won't,
by
you
then,
won't know by that one yet.
since he's getting the double.
You think they sweep him?
Yes.
I think they find a way to steal one, but I'm going to say sweep too, even though I think they find one. But again, I think T.J. Watt will be gone, and I think they'll get that one.
All right, so we got another gimme game coming up at Chicago.
That's a win.
Yes, it is.
They're terrible. Should have never drafted.
Well, their rosters, yeah. Caleb's the problem.
Caleb's issue.
Well, we'll see. They got Ben Johnson.
Well, hopefully
but
he figured out how to throw the ball further than 20 yards.
I'll give you the dub there. Week 13, the Buffalo Bills come to
Loss.
town.
No, that's a win.
I think that's an L.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say tie. You're saying L?
I think
Matt
yeah.
says win.
I just don't
L.
see the
Big
receivers that they have or the running game.
I think look, he finds a way to figure it out. I mean, I didn't see the receivers last year either, to be honest.
All right, So we're now around week 14 at Baltimore.
L.
Honestly, I'm not going to say L. I'm going to say W for both Baltimore games because for whatever reason Lamar Jackson in the regular season specifically does not play well against Pittsburgh. He did have one good game this past season against them, but I think we sweep Baltimore.
I will say you win at home against Baltimore, but on the road you're.
It also, I think we win.
What do you got, Nick?
This is all provided that Aaron Rodgers stays healthy the whole season too.
Which he won't.
Well, yeah, it all is.
All right, Week 15 is Miami.
That's a win.
Loss.
Trap game. It's a trap game.
It is a trap
There's
game.
your tie. There's your tie right there. What day of the week is it?
I have no idea.
Oh,
It is December 15th.
I'll look.
I think that's the Monday night.
Okay, that's
So I believe my birthday is on a Friday. My birthday's the 12th. In case
not that it.
buy me a
should
present,
matter, I'm
guys.
just curious.
No. Yeah, that's a win.
Everyone's
Yeah.
birthday was on a Friday except for mine. Mine was a Monday.
Are you saying lost cam trap game?
No, that's a joke.
No, it's realistically at least one of these games that the Steelers I have winning are going to lose because whether they're dog shit teams or not, Mike Tomlin finds a way.
All right, Week 16 at the Detroit Lions.
Loss.
I'm going to say win, and I also have Detroit as my pick to not make the playoffs this year.
Wow.
I will say, if Detroit is healthy, which we're doing all this based on healthy, I don't think that game is close.
It's not.
I think it could be an embarrassing.
Did I give you the first Cleveland game?
Detroit lost their offensive and defensive coordinator.
Detroit lost a good chunk of their team, defensive team last year.
Yep.
And
they lost to Washington.
Hutchinson is back. And
At some point.
He'll be ready week
You'll be
one.
ready with one.
Okay.
I am here for it. I think Detroit is going to have a great year. And I do not see them losing to the Steelers. Obviously, anything is possible in sports, but that to me is not one of them.
Week 17 at Cleveland.
Loss.
I will say I have them winning that one because I think their playoff hopes will be on the line.
So you have them winning.
Yes.
Okay. I do not. And then they end the season with Baltimore at home.
Win.
I agree because I don't think that game's going to matter.
I think Baltimore might be resting their players at that point.
Exactly.
Fair. Touche. So then by that knowledge, you're right. I had you losing in Baltimore. I'll give them that win too.
All right. So,
And I thought about it. I will give them the win week one.
against the Jets.
Because I think as good as it, I think that is Justin Fields' first game as a New York Jet. I don't think the chemistry with the team is where it will be week 3, 4,
Justin
5,
Fields
6.
looked awful in what I've seen in
So-
footage.
So, Matt says, I'm going to count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
11.
13.
Yep.
13.
13 and 4.
What do you say, Nick?
Including a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 game winning streak. Down the stretch.
Yikes.
From weeks 9 through 16.
Oh, damn.
Just that's the one highlight there.
They will lose one of those games. I don't
All
know
right,
which
so
one.
Cam. 1,
Did I say
2,
13?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 8.
That's the classic Steeler record of late.
Yeah.
Nick.
It's probably a 10 or 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure I add my 7, 9, and 1.
7. Okay, so you have them under 500. Okay.
And I gave the tie against Buffalo, even though I think they're going to lose that game.
I
So-
took the L. I said it was-
Really, it's 7 and
Realistically, I will switch my Buffalo to a loss
13 is just too many wins.
or Detroit. One of those two teams they're going to lose to.
10.
I
So
just,
that's 12 and 5.
I just
Yeah.
don't think.
That's realistic.
I don't think you're going to beat Detroit. I think that's. I think if you're clicking on all, it's in Detroit too, right?
No, that's in
It's
Pittsburgh.
at-
I think.
It is in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't see you winning that game.
My thing is when they lose offensive and defensive coordinators, defensive less so much the case because their defense is kind of awful back half of the season because of injuries.
Yeah.
I don't think that being that Jared Goff is a very much so system quarterback, I don't think that they're going to be the same.
I would agree. I don't think their offense and defense will look the same, but I think you have a team that's playing a bunch of what ifs. what if we were healthy last year? What would have happened? So I think the system that we see this year, it is what it is, but I think the players themselves will be the ones who we talk, obviously who dictate that. But we're going to move on, and we will move our rest of our football conversation. We'll table it for a few weeks because, as Nick said, the season starts. We have 25 days until the
25
Hall of
days
Fame
until
game.
the Hall of Fame game.
And we will start getting reports of mini camps, out of mini camps, I think starting in a week or two. So, football season's almost here, people. Our Sundays will be at Matty B's new house. We're going to have a location. We'll be doing these in the early afternoons. So you will get us
We should live stream it.
early afternoon. I think we should.
Yeah, we might end up being depending on how it works with football season. We might end up recording on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But I know we were talking about that earlier.
One or two, because I know Nick's away on the weekends. But we're going to move to our last topic, because this is I know some things have happened, and you guys have some things to say about it. And I have some questions for you guys. We're going to end the night with our last topic, and we'll do, obviously, Baywood's Bets, Nick's Rants, and I'll have a trivia
Baywood's
question
Bets
for
is
you.
taking a hiatus until the football season. So
Fair.
no Baywood's Bets for the foreseeable future.
All right. Clearly, he didn't tell us before. So
I
we
did.
announced
I've
it,
been
so
telling
we're
you for
good.
weeks.
We're good. NBA season. We've had some major signings happen. We've had some not so major signings. We've had some teams. We've seen teams get hurt as of right now. Some of the biggest contenders are not the same team they were before. Congratulations, Oklahoma City Thunder. You are the 2025 NBA World Champions. Thank you, Noah Lyles. Matt, we're going to start with you.
Yep.
We've had a bunch of free agency signings, some trades, some teams have shaken up. Which trade or free agency signing, I think more trade though, has stood out to you and why? Which one just jumped off the page?
I don't. If we're gonna talk about trade, can we start with Nick?
You can go free agency signing.
Okay, free agent. My thing with free agency is it actually isn't signings that I was surprised with. It was, and Nick had sort of led me in this direction earlier, or pointed in this direction earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put my early pick in here right now, that the Dallas Mavericks are going to win the NBA Finals, the NBA Championship this upcoming year.
Okay. I need more, but yes.
Okay.
And huge right angle here. It's a shame, and shame on LeBron James for that reason. How am I relating the two? Because they don't even play for the same franchise.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this, but continue. Explain.
LeBron James opted in to his $52 million
Like $52 million and change. Yeah.
max contract,
Which he should.
and is also reportedly not happy with playing with Luka.
He needs the ball.
Yeah.
We knew
Austin Reeves also is not reportedly happy with getting the ball with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, Austin Reeves, if I remember, declined his option.
He did. It's possibly to either get the max with LA or to shop the max with another team.
And someone will pay him.
Yeah.
But continue.
It'll be significantly less, but to get out of LA, that might be the move.
I think he'll get more, to be honest.
He can't get more.
Well, not more like that, but I don't think you're going to undervalue him if you go elsewhere. He'll get the max he could get elsewhere.
Yeah.
But continue, sorry.
So, LeBron is we all know LeBron complains about not being able to be surrounded with championship level caliber talent.
Mm-hmm.
Take a page out of Kyrie Irving's book. Kyrie declined his option and took less for a 3-year extension. His if he opted in, it would have been for $43 million.
Mm-hmm.
He opted out, took about $4 million less. This year, it's a $119 million contract over 3 years, so average is about $3 million less per year. But they have some caveat that I don't understand, where there's a tax break. Like he was for opting out. They're now. Let me just.
Well,
I have it up. I believe it's okay. Here it is. The NBA has a second apron, and you can utilize the $1 million the $5.7 million taxpayer mid-level exception.
Yep.
Being that he declined his option, they are now allowed to use that $5.7 million, which means that Kyrie Irving alone now opened up the door for about $8.7 million for this upcoming season, which they will more than likely go ahead and try to pursue Chris Paul.
Awful.
I don't agree.
Awful.
I don't agree.
I agree. Awful.
Chris Paul brings experience. I think he goes out with the chip. I think he goes out with the chip with the Mavericks. He can help mentor Cooper Flag. In the meantime, until Kyrie gets back, then Chris Paul will be coming off the bench. LeBron James, shame on you. If you want a championship level contender, you're a billionaire. You're worth like $1.2 billion. If you wanted championship level talent, whether DeAndre Ayton, which did shock me, by the way, to answer your question, to get there, you need to have money, which you are not allowing your team to have. You're playing in year 23, which hopefully, in my opinion, should be your last. You're ruining the league, dude. You have been for quite some time. End rant.
I will say that Draymond talked about the second apron on his podcast, and he did say there were moves that were going to, I don't want to say if you don't take less money, but he said paying certain players is going to kill your roster.
Yep.
And if you haven't heard Draymond's podcast, I would go out and listen to it. His is one of my favorite ones to listen to. He's pretty straightforward on it. Talks more about the game and some of the rules and the ins and outs of the negotiating between the players' union and the owners. So his is a good podcast to listen to, especially when changes like this happen. Kyrie taking less money. We talked about it earlier today. We talk about it when you want to keep players and sign players, somebody's got to do it. Now, it's funny because Matt didn't touch on this, and he wouldn't, but I say it a lot. When you are in Texas, and it is a no-income tax state, it allows you to take less money because you're not getting hit on the back end.
True.
Like if you're in New York or California.
True.
Where if you're making $119 million, you're probably making around 90. In Texas, he's making that $119 million.
So are you making an excuse for LeBron in this situation?
No.
The dude's a billionaire.
And look, I don't think he's ever taken less money. I think he's shortened his contract, but I don't think he's ever not taken.
He's ever since he's been eligible for the max since he's been in the league.
But I will say this:
since his first big contract,
it's no secret, and I said it the other day. The Lakers sold their management. If they want to look to the future, they should not care about who LeBron is. You need to build. So if I'm LeBron and I know that I have relations with the Buss family and not these people, I'm signing the max because I'm going to get the most money out of that team because they will trade me in a heartbeat.
He has to approve it, obviously.
Well, it's his last contract, so he'll have to approve it. He's a free agent, I believe, after this year. So, and he's not going to get $52 million elsewhere. So you take that and then you run with it because again, they don't owe him anything. That was the Buss family. That's done. You have better years behind you than you have in front of you. Your numbers are still good. Don't get me wrong, but they're not $52 million a year good. I thought you were going to say he was going to demand a trade to the Mavericks.
No.
I will say this, to touch on your Chris Paul thing, I do not agree. And I will say this. I think Chris Paul needs to go somewhere where he will be an integral part of the team's offense. Him going to the Mavericks is going to switch drastically when Kyrie comes back. I don't think that's what he wants, going from being a starter to a bench player right away, because he's not a good shooter. So you can't put him at the 2. You can put Kyrie at the 2, but Kyrie's 6 foot, Chris Paul's 6 foot.
You can't have them both on the court at the same time.
We've had issues in the league with 2 people who are less than 6 foot. As much as people want to say Curry, babyface assassin, Steph Curry's 6'3", 6'4". Klay Thompson 6'6", 6'7". So that backcourt height at least worked. I don't see it working. Kyrie is dynamic, but I don't think you can have 2 guards under 6'3" in your backcourt. I don't think it works. That's just me. And I don't think you want him to go from a starter to relegated bench player to where offense shifts drastically. If it does, I would see him getting traded at the deadline. And I don't think that's what he wants. I would like to see him in Milwaukee, because they don't have a point guard. They don't have a point guard.
Yeah, they waived Damian.
And I think you put him in Milwaukee with Giannis and Miles Turner. I think that rebrands it, and I think the move on paper will keep Giannis happy.
So
that's just me.
I don't know if I'm stealing something from Nick here, but the move that surprised me in terms of free agency was Miles Turner going to the Bucks. Being that I thought that he was going to stay in Indiana.
Hold that thought. Nick, what did you think of the free agencies and trades that happened?
I don't think there was really anything too, shape-shifting, aside from the Kevin Durant trade. I guess to a degree, because that was, the big move. Mm-hmm. And I think
so far
they did Dame dirty. That's just my opinion.
You think they did Dame dirty?
I do.
I don't. Okay, continue.
Just to waive him after an injury. I think that's kind of foul. But
okay, at that point, I get it.
Ethically. I understand it from a money standpoint.
Ethically, yes.
Ethically, they did him dirty. But I thought that, I'm drawing this out here, I'm very intrigued by the Boston Celtics.
Interesting.
Sorry, coughing. Sneaky good move, Anthony Simons for Drew. They traded Drew and Porzingis to get under Tier 2. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you guys brought that up. That was the reason they made those moves. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, Anthony Simons offers more scoring than Drew.
I thought personally, I thought if you kept Porzingis, you put yourself in a position to... Actually, I hate saying because I love Drew Holiday. I thought your offense was there.
That's...
With Anthony Simons.
I agree with that. And
I
have a theory
as
to what's going to happen next.
Are we on the same page? What?
They are going to make an inquiry for Giannis.
Thank you.
And if they do, and they can somehow keep Jaylen Brown, I don't think they will. I think Jaylen Brown's going to go next.
I do too.
Which is why you bring in Anthony Simons, who averaged, I believe, 19 points a game last season.
Yep.
You got, who's the guy? Niang. Georges Niang as part of the Porzingis trade.
Yep.
So you have that rim protector.
No.
He's not a rim protector.
No, he's got bad knees.
I lied.
He's barely a wing.
Well, don't they still have... oh, no, they have freaking Luke Cornett.
No.
No, they traded him too?
He's on San Antonio now.
Oh, my God. Well, you go get Giannis.
You've cleared cap space.
You've cleared cap space.
You've cleared a lot of space.
Now, why would they go get Giannis as he's approaching free agency in a couple years? Because if you can somehow keep Jaylen Brown, and you have Anthony Simons, they also got younger with Anthony Simons. And Tatum comes back next year.
Yep.
Or, well, not this coming season. Presumably.
If he's smart, it won't be this season.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? No, I don't think he comes back, and I'll tell you why. It's not the same team. Right. If it was the same team... Oh, and that's the bet I made with Posse. Thank you for reminding me.
So, if you got Giannis, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Anthony Simons, your fourth option is a 20-point-per-game scorer, and you still have Derek White, well, I think Derek White would probably be part of the trade if you were to go get Giannis.
Well, then they have Pritchard.
You still have Peyton Pritchard.
And
the best way to replenish what you're losing is by scoring more points. At the end of the day, that is what matters, because their defensive efficiency doesn't fall that drastically with Giannis on their roster.
No, it doesn't.
And you still have, if you can somehow finagle this, I don't really know their draft pick situation, like future picks. It's probably going to involve multiple teams, presumably. I don't think Boston's done. The Porzingis and the Drew moves were necessary. I think they should have kept Porzingis, but I understand where they're thinking. They are necessary to maintain the win now mode now and in the future.
And still have that window when Tatum comes back.
And if you get Giannis, somehow, if you are somehow able to finagle this, Giannis is going to re-sign with Boston
The thing about Giannis is
because of how big the window is.
the thing about Giannis, especially Boston, is they'd have to sell Giannis on the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis is in a win now moment, so he's not going to sign off on a trade. He has no trade clause. I get that, but I don't think Milwaukee would do him dirty. So unless there's a chance to win this year, I don't see him.
He might stay.
Win that trade. He's going to stay because the same thing is like, well, I can stay in Milwaukee this year, have a better record than them, and then we can try and improve next year. Is the improvement going to be better than the Celtics? No, because the Celtics are getting one of the top 10 best players in the league probably coming back. But I don't know what their dynamic is going to look like. And I think that's the hard part, which is why I do not think Tatum will come back this year.
I don't think so either.
Because you don't know what the team's going to look like. A lot of the players that you played with are gone. No Holiday, no Porzingis, no Cornette. And you bring in Anthony Simons, and you still have a few moves to make. Now, if they make a dynamic move this offseason and go grab somebody that we didn't think of, by all means.
Like Damian Lillard?
He's out this year.
No, I know.
It could happen. And I think that's where, if you're Giannis, you're looking to see where you could go if you want to go. But in reality says, the Celtics are out of it. You are a 25 and 15 player. You will dynamically shift wherever you go. You could stay where you are and have the same season. We don't know how good they're going to be. And I think that's the part that intrigues me. Let me ask you guys this question. The Pacers made the NBA Finals. We saw an Achilles tear. Instead of bringing your team back, you let Miles Turner walk.
Yep.
Do you agree with the Pacers not paying him for a year that, for all intents and purposes, we don't know how it would have panned out? Or would it have been simple, just plug and play, put a Chris Paul on the team to replace your point guard and go see what happens?
It's tough because Miles Turner played a very intricate role for the Pacers offensively.
Mm-hmm.
He added a lot of floor space for being a 7-footer because he can shoot the three, he can shoot the mid-range, he can put the ball on the floor and finish at the rim.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, I would say, an average to above average defender. For the I don't think he's elite, but he's
a top 5 shot blocker.
Is Obi Toppin a center?
No, he's more like a 3-4 kind of combo.
I think he's just like a 4.
So the issue is, who did they replace him with? Where you're going to get that kind of... Because Miles Turner could go off for 20, 25 points a night.
Mm-hmm.
And Halliburton's presumably done... Or not presumably. He is not playing this
So Jay
season.
Huff got traded from Memphis to Indiana.
That's not going to help.
I don't know who that is.
That's he was one of the centers for Memphis, who we all know had no rim protection.
That doesn't move the needle for the Pacers.
No.
The Pacers are pretty much camping in this season.
Well, and I think that
the
is...
season's lost.
Yeah, I think that is the part... I hate saying it this way. You almost wish it was an ACL, not an Achilles. But I only because you can come back from an ACL. I just think that it's a shame. You know, you made it. I would have loved to see you run it back again after Halliburton got hurt. But gentlemen, what do we say? This is a business.
It is a business.
Did Miles Turner make the right move in leaving?
No, I don't think the Bucks are anywhere close to winning a championship unless they get a designated point guard. So unless they had a plan to get a point guard, I don't think that was the right move for him if he's trying to win a championship. If he was just trying to get paid, by all means. Fun fact, 3 players with the number 0 tore their Achilles in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard,
Jason Tatum,
and Tyrese
Halliburton. Hey, that's probably a number kids aren't going to be wearing next year.
My son's wearing it.
Well, I like your son. I like them too, but He doesn't play like Tyler Halliburton, Jason Tatum, or Damian Lillard.
He wears ankle support.
You are set.
Got them Steph casts.
Let's keep it rolling in the NBA for a little bit, guys. Let's look at this. Obviously, the Kevin Durant trade was the big, so far, off-season trade. Did not realize it took 7 teams until I looked at it today.
God damn.
But there were biggest trade in NBA history, actually, like that. There were a few ancillary. I don't want to say it that way, but there were some other trades out there that have made moves, and we're looking. Nick, I'm gonna start with you. Let me make you look at this. We need to look it up. We're gonna talk about this real quick. Mm-hmm. Jordan Poole was not a one option in Washington. It just didn't work at the one. He is now a New Orleans Pelican with Zion Williams.
Correct.
Does he have a bounce back year, being that he is not the man on that team?
I'm going to say no.
No.
The reason being is I think he was in a better situation in Washington.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I think he got a lot of free roam to try to be a primary option.
Mm-hmm.
They still have Zion Williamson, and I think New Orleans is going to be heading into a younger direction. I don't know if he's going to get the same amount of touches, the same amount of shot attempts. Not to say that he can't produce. And I don't think New Orleans is going to be a good team anyway. So maybe he'll be inflated numbers by the end of the year, but I just don't think he's going to have the same level of opportunity to be, getting 15, 20 shots a game. I don't know, unless he just starts chucking them up. I don't know. I don't know if he's been shooting in the gym, but I think because he was traded for McCollum.
Yep.
I think McCollum is going to have a monster season.
Yep.
And I actually really like the roster that Washington's building.
I do too. Actually.
They're still young, but could they be a fringe play-in team this year? Maybe. You never know, right? I don't
There's
think
a play-in tournament.
There is, and I don't think people thought Chicago was going to make the play-in at the start of last season.
No,
not after the trades they made.
No, and they got hot at Josh Giddey.
Yeah, he's good.
Could he be a trade piece that a team could be looking for? I don't know. But when they got him, that whole offense opened up, and they managed to get into the play-in. So if you're looking at Washington, that C.J. McCollum move is sneaky. Because, McCollum's a veteran, but he's not old.
Well, don't forget, they also have Middleton with him in the backcourt.
Exactly.
So they have the beginnings of what could be.
Is a former All-Star in his own right. When he's healthy and on, he's an All-Star player.
Well, McCollum was with Portland at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Damian Lillard.
I was going to say, he was with Dame. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Middleton is a champion.
Middleton is a champion, yes.
It's funny. I was listening to Jeff Teague's podcast talk about that game. But, no, Middleton is a champion. I think Washington has the makings of what could be very interesting. Matt, I'm going to go to you for this next one because you touched on it when you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It's a good move.
It was a good move.
What are your expectations for him and Luka? We have LeBron in there too, but the future is basically building around those.
It is building around Luka.
And the last part into that, is that enough to keep Luka in LA?
No. I think Luka is sold on LA already, so I don't think any move. I don't think he wanted to leave any franchise that he was if he was not traded to the Mavericks, he would have continued to play for the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
If LA, I think, is now his new home.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Ayton, Luka really needs to bring the best out of him because he is a no-show type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, notably, in the NBA Finals years ago, where, what was there, Monty Williams was their coach?
Yeah.
You could see him mouth, "You quit on us," or "You effing quit." Oh, that was Dallas against Phoenix.
Yeah,
that Luka
tragic Game 7.
Yeah, that Luka outscored or tied the Phoenix's halftime score himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, by all means, he was a first overall pick a couple years ago. That was a questionable move.
That was a questionable, but you know who was your second and third picks, but
the reason they needed a center. They didn't need who was drafted second and third necessarily.
I mean, you look back at it, it's maybe not Trae Young, But you could make an argument. You put Devin Booker next to Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
You could make an argument. And then don't forget, you had Mikal Bridges and all those same players, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that I would have not done the same thing, but knowing what we know now,
Yeah.
I mean, you think Atlanta wishes they took Trae Young? I'm sure they do, but can you imagine Luka Doncic in the East?
I don't. Yeah. That would have made the East 10 times better.
Well, all those LeBron numbers going to Cleveland by himself, all those are out. Because Luka's in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my...
So, does DeAndre Ayton make... And they re-signed, what's his name, Jackson Hayes. Not a huge impact, but he does provide some offensive capability with the lob dunk.
Yeah.
Do I think that drastically improved the Lakers? No. I think the Lakers still need to offload some of their cap-heavy pieces, a.k.a. Austin Reeves. Should probably be bundled in a trade. I wouldn't be surprised if Rui Hachimura was put on the trade block as well. If LeBron was shoppable, he obviously wouldn't boast a big return, being that he's near retirement at any point. I don't even think he's worth draft capital. I think he would just be worth a couple of, role pieces. But
the funny thing about LeBron signing is it's $52 million. So any team that wants him is gutting their team. Like I saw the Cleveland potential trade. You're getting rid of 3 of your starters.
you don't
it's
do
not
that.
worth it.
Yeah,
You
Cleveland
don't
doesn't
do
want
it.
him. Cleveland doesn't want him.
You don't do it. But that's just me.
So LeBron is more than likely just going to be an LA Laker this year, because I don't think that anybody's going to risk their franchise on a 1 to 2 year flyer on LeBron James, unless they're looking forward to another situation where he's saying that I want my next son, who will be eligible in this upcoming year's draft, who is better than Bronny James by light years at this point, unless they are looking forward to drafting Bryce, which I don't even know if will be possible, being that Bronny shouldn't have even been drafted, period. I don't think it drastically helps the Lakers unless they're able to offload to get a real number 2. Because they have 2 point guards, but no shooter. Dalton can get there if he works on it, but he's no defender by any means. Dorian Finney-Smith.
He's traded. He's not there anymore.
Huh?
He's not there anymore.
He isn't?
No,
He's at Houston.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that.
That's fine.
So can they go get a Klay Thompson type player that can just play off the ball? I mean, that is really where the impact is going to be. It's not going to be... Yes, Luka will perform better, and they could play better with a center position. It's not going to get them any further in the playoffs.
No.
They need depth.
Are there moves that you guys saw? I'm not sure how we are on time.
We're just over 2 hours.
Right, cool, we're there. Is there a player who maybe was a re-sign or a let go that you guys were like, wow, that was a big deal? Because I got one in my head, low key. Is there a player that you guys might have seen that?
Give me
was
2
like,
seconds to think about it. If you want to talk, if you want to...
If you want to go first,
Yeah,
I'll
go first. Yeah, go
so there were
first.
2 players I looked at that Clint Capella to the Houston Rockets. To me, is huge.
back to the Rockets, right?
Yeah, he was
back to the
there.
Rockets,
He
right?
was there
Back
with
is there
Harden.
So back to the Rockets to me is huge because I think you have a shot blocking person who comes in when Segun goes out. So what are you losing on defense? I think the Rockets have built their team phenomenally. I think they're one more piece away. I think they have offense. I think we see KD play the least amount of minutes he's played in years, which will be great for the playoffs. But a move that to me that happened, and I shook my head at it because I wasn't too happy about it. Low key move, may not even talk about it. Was Nikhil Alexander-Walker in Minnesota. He is no longer a Timberwolf. I think he's on the Pelicans or Grizzlies, one of the two. To me, he had a great playoff. I thought he and the other shooter, McDaniels, I thought they played great in the playoffs this year alongside Anthony Edwards. So to me, that's going to be a huge loss. Obviously, they re-signed Naz Reid, but those 2 things to me were huge. One more thing I'll throw out there because I know we're getting on time, but a huge move, huge signing, I will say, that I think will pay dividends, but sadly not this year. because I don't see it making them. I don't see their team being better than teams in the West. Mike Brown as the Lakers as a Knicks new coach. I like Mike Brown. I think he's done a lot with certain rosters. I don't think personally he's the coach for this team, but he is a very good coach. Unfortunately for him, this is the Knicks' window of closing. If they do not win this year, I do not see them winning. This is probably their best chance. I know Nick and Matt will look at me like I got two heads, but call a spade a spade. There's a lot of injuries in young teams in the East. They are not injured and they are not young. So they are experienced. They've been there. They have arguably, you could say, one of the top 4 best players in the conference remaining who's not hurt on their team. They have the most complete roster of players with experience. And they have the experience, which you can't underrate. So you just need a coach. And the one thing that Mike Brown has done is his teams have offensively been very good. Remember those Sacramento Kings with De'Aaron Fox. You know, those Cleveland days of LeBron, I believe, and then learning from the Warriors. So he's traveled, and San Antonio. He's traveled, he's coached, he's had some good teams. If he can't do it with them this year, they won't win. But that's my opinion. Matt, any underrating signings that you were looking at? You're like, oh, this is different, or how do you feel about the Mike Brown coaching situation?
I think the Knicks are splashing in areas they shouldn't be. I think that they're not doing enough splashing in the free agent market. Mike Brown is the coach. I mean, Sacramento, were they good? I mean, they're a perennial playing team. They're underwhelming by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what that means for the Knicks, and I'm not thrilled about it because there was a couple other better coaches out there. One more notably as Mike Malone, which would have been, I would have went all in on him. Supposedly he didn't want to go there.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I don't think New York was his. Well, we'll get to there.
Yeah. So, was there any notable ones? I mean, as the trades and the waves have been more notable to me than the free agent moves. Clint Capella back to the Rockets was kind of. We knew he wasn't going back to Atlanta, and I felt like the Rockets had an open door that didn't surprise me. Nothing at the moment, no.
Mr. Casampieri, Captain Casampieri, what
Hello.
are you doing?
So I will make a quick comment about the Knicks. Mike Brown was not the right choice to be the head coach,
Okay.
in my opinion. Not to say that he's a bad coach, but I don't think he was the right coach. Because I had a couple in mind that I think would have been great, Mike Malone being one of them. I also would have threw Mr. Hurley in the hat,
He's not
or Mark Jackson. But that's just my opinion. Whatever. I know he hasn't coached in a little while, but it's fine. It's okay. All good.
I heard about that one though, so I'm not.
It's okay.
At
I know
this
we
point,
we
take
also
Phil
had-
Jackson
we also
back.
inquired about Dawn Staley, so anything's possible. I do like the Jordan Clarkson signing. I don't think that's that bad. But the one I want to talk about was a team that has arguably the best player in the world on it.
Oh.
And that is the Denver Nuggets
Talk to me
acquiring Cam Johnson
that's
from
big.
Brooklyn in exchange for Michael Porter
Forgot
Jr.
about that.
Do you know that the Nuggets also signed Tim Hardaway Jr.?
I did. I saw
I
that.
did
too.
So they accomplished two things. They got rid of a bum with one shoulder. They pick up two scorers, or at least one off the bench. That was their problem. They had no bench. And Michael Porter played like ass.
Oh my God, it was so pathetic.
Now, I don't know if they kept Russell Westbrook.
I think he's still a free agent, but I think he's coming
I
back.
think they should bring him back.
They should.
And now you have... I think Cam Johnson should also come off the bench as their sixth man.
And Hardaway should start?
No, Hardaway should also come off the bench.
Who's starting?
The guy they drafted should start.
That probably won't happen.
I'm saying they should start.
Yeah,
the guy
Cameron
they
Johnson will probably start over the draft pick. And
drafted. Let me pull
also,
it up, hold on.
will Russell Westbrook play on all 30 NBA teams?
Not going to New York, so no.
Yeah, no.
Or Boston, for that matter. I don't see him going to Boston either.
Oh, I don't think they had a draft pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't.
Didn't they trade for a player in the draft? Yeah. I could have swore they traded for somebody.
Well,
I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on one sec.
well, let me put it this way, and you can multitask while you're doing it. Hopefully, you believe that Cam Johnson and
Tim Hardaway
Jr. should come off the bench for somebody who
Tim Hardaway Jr. should definitely come off the bench because he
Hold on.
always has.
Let me look it up. Hold on.
No, I get it. I'm just looking at from the experience standpoint that you think that he should come off the bench.
What the hell's his name? Is it
this team?
Wait, no, I don't think this is him. Hold on. Not Jalen Pickett. No, not him. Where did he go? I'm gonna find him.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think Cam Johnson should start. That's just me. I think he brings a little more to the table than Michael Porter did. Michael Porter got more height, so you had a 6'9", 6.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It was that Watson kid. I think he was a rookie last year. Sorry.
Oh,
He should start.
you think he should start?
Yes.
He has moments of brilliance, but I will say this: his 3-point shooting. So for floor spacing, I would not start him.
Or Julian Strawther.
Cameron, I think Cameron
from
Johnson
Gonzaga.
should start over both of
Yeah,
them.
no, I know he is. I still think I would start Cam Johnson. To be honest with you, and I know it's different, I would probably start Tim Hardaway Jr. to be honest, because if you're going to use someone who's going to run off of screens and run around and move the defense, that's Tim Hardaway Jr. Cam Johnson is not that guy like that, but Cam Johnson's mid-range game and his 3-point game is better than Tim Hardaway Jr.'s. But I think in terms of offensive flow around Jokic, you may want to start Tim Hardaway Jr. My preference personally would be Cam Johnson. And then I think Watson comes off the bench. Because his 3-point shot is just not there. And you can't have, you need the spacing. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, in any case, I think, it just adds versatility that they sorely needed.
Yeah.
I actually just checked. Right now, they do project Cam Johnson to be the 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well,
But I also don't think the Nuggets are done.
I don't think they're done either, and I will reiterate what I said before.
I love the move they made, though.
Because I love Aaron Gordon coming back on that team. I still wish that they found a way to pull KD and put KD on that roster instead of Michael Porter. I think that would have been your next dynasty, personally. But again, I think we've had some good moves going in and out. Nick, I want to ask you guys right here, and then we'll move on after this. I'm going to poke fun at you guys for a minute.
Sweet.
What is your ceiling this year for the Knicks?
So, seeing as...
You've not made any moves except for Jordan Clarkson. Actually, he's not even healthy.
We also got Yesebele,
That was a draft pick, wasn't it?
No, Yusebele was a guy from...
the dude who dunked on LeBron in the Olympics.
He's on
Oh, that was a
from
dude
Philly.
from overseas.
Yeah. Do you feel your ceiling this year? What is your ceiling? You've made 2... Well, the
Probably-
Jordan Clarkson one...
probably
will
rotational
hopefully
players.
pan out.
Yeah.
You have a coach who, unlike Thibodeau, will go 8 deep, 9 deep.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the playoffs, he will do that. Your offense should be a little better. I don't know what your defense is going to be because it's not really his focus, but you have defensive-focused players, which is a little better. What is your ceiling?
Realistically, the NBA Finals due to the very injured Eastern Conference. However, unfortunately, you still have to get through Boston
I don't
and
think Boston's
probably
the team.
Cleveland.
So, seeing as Indiana essentially is out of the picture,
Again, no injuries. Injuries, healthy team. You're healthy all year. Every team's healthy. No one gets injured. Roster is as currently.
Aside from their current injuries.
Well, yeah.
whoever's healthy now stays
Yeah.
healthy the whole year.
Detroit-
Halperin's not coming back.
Detroit's going to be an issue again.
So, I think you
In Orlando.
should be top 4 in the East on paper.
Well, who are the 3 teams in front of you?
I would say Cleveland,
Okay.
a healthy Philadelphia,
Well, we did say healthy, so okay.
a fully healthy Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a matchup problem for the Knicks. And I'm actually going to go out on a whim.
Orlando.
No, I'm going to pick...
Atlanta.
I'm gonna pick Atlanta
They made some good. They had a couple of great
because they got
draft picks too.
Porzingis.
Yeah.
It just adds a crazy, like their ability to now spread the floor and play defense outside of Trae Young because he's a midget, but he don't need to because he's their facilitator. So it just added value to a team that really needed it. Miami, no. Washington, a sleeper team. But I think because Boston, presumably, you probably should beat them, seeing as they don't have Porzingis, they don't have Jason Tatum, Drew's gone.
3 out of 5 starters aren't playing.
Exactly, and you beat them, so you would think, okay. Detroit, they're going to be competitive, but they did beat them, albeit questionable no call
calls.
may have came through. But at the end of the day, you would think we can compete and or beat them.
Mm-hmm.
No Indiana. Cleveland is better than them for sure. Also, Toronto could be sneaky too. But yeah, I would say top 4 in the East.
Mm-hmm.
I would think if they don't get out of the second round, it's a failure. Mm-hmm. So you would probably say back to the conference finals against presumably Cleveland or a healthy Philadelphia.
Okay.
I would say. But yeah, I mean,
NBA finals or no?
No.
No?
And even if they got there, they're not winning it because there's probably like 5 teams in the West that are better than the Knicks.
Okay. All right. That's a nice little topic of conversation today. Let's go some rapid fire questions. I'm going to ask you guys some quick questions. Now that we had our longer topics. Matt, I'm going to start with you. Rapid fire question. Yes, no, 30-second explanation. Dodgers go back-to-back and win the World Series. Yay, nay, oh yeah. What do you think it is?
No. And I think Detroit wins.
Okay. Nick, same question.
I am also going to say no. I do not believe they are the best team in the National League. So I don't even have them going to the World Series.
Okay.
If I were a betting man right now, I would pick either the Cubs or the Phillies to win the National League.
Fair.
Believe the Cubs are up 10-0 on St. Louis right now.
I did talk about them earlier.
Nick,
I don't know what happened.
I'm going to ask you this question. We're in a college basketball right here.
College b-ball, okay.
Would you rather win your Final Four game by 20 and lose in the national championship, or lose in the Final Four?
Losing the Final Four.
Yeah, Matt.
Repeat it one more time.
Would you rather win a Final Four game by 20 and lose in the national championship, or just lose in the Final Four?
Oh yeah, I'm with Nick.
You'd rather lose in the Final Four.
Yeah.
So you'd rather not get there and taste it. You'd rather just lose.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because I've been in rec league championship games before, and it's miserable walking off the court.
I will say too that I do not like losing in the finals. I would rather not get there, but that's just me. Let me ask you this, Matt. We had a bunch of people watching the Club World Cup. Yes or no? We will be a big 5 within the next 5 years on sports.
Weird thing about soccer is the world sport almost.
Mm-hmm.
Big 5 in the United States?
Yeah.
No.
So within 5 years, so not this year. 5
No.
years.
Nope. Because it was here first, and it's still not bigger than it. It'll always be a big 4 in terms of the sports that we know. I don't think anything's coming in.
Nick.
Unless there's a lot more money put into the MLS, I would say no.
Yeah.
I just don't think I don't think there's like enough markets across the league to warrant. Like the Premier League has so much money.
Yeah, all the talent's overseas.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's possible, but I personally don't. In 5 years, I would say no.
Can I put one more point to it? The NHL, NFL, NBA, and MLB are considered the top tier talent worldwide in their respective sport. The MLS is not by any means.
No.
It's all overseas in Europe.
I will say I do think in the 5 years we will see it. And the reason I will say it is this. I think what players are doing overseas is they're finding ways to extend their career and make money. Extend their brand. So I feel that if we see more players I hate saying it this way, on the down end of their career overseas coming over here, like Messi, we're seeing Messi play in Miami, and it's blown up. It's blown up. We've got Miami jerseys in Connecticut selling left and right. For those of you who don't know geography, we're not close to Florida.
About 1,000 miles.
Maybe even more.
Probably. It's actually
To Miami, probably more, yeah.
It's
Miami,
crazy.
yeah.
I think if you get good players coming over here at the end of their career where people can see them, because Messi has sparked a new wave of kids wanting to play soccer or football. It does happen, just like David Beckham did when he came here. I think if that tunnel continues, I think we will see now. Top 5 is still 5. If you're at 5, you're still 5. I don't think you'll be 4, 3, 2, or 1. But I think we could talk about soccer, especially having the World Cup here in a few years, as coming to be a big 5.
To support
Sustainability, I don't know, but it could happen.
To support your point, I could see if Miami had somehow won the Club World Cup.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
if the
see that.
USA has a deep run in this World Cup,
Yeah.
then
But
I could see it happening.
I do look at it as the same as when David Beckham came to the LA Galaxy.
Yep.
Attention just went through the roof because these were players we heard about, we watched on TV, playing soccer growing up. I idolized, and my soccer, I went right back to it.
Right.
Messi, I'm watching. It's on at the bar. I'm watching because it's Leo Messi.
Right.
You know, we had a few players with stints that even piqued my interest for games here and there. So I think if
Spice City?
what?
Spice City?
Not Spice City. But I think that will, if that trend continues, there's a very good shot because there is money to be made.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the other day, I know they're looking to expand some franchises. I was like, dude, if we could afford it, I would do it. But or I would invest in it.
Hey, if Connecticut can't have a professional sports team, at least make it MLS.
Well,
I
we
am
ha-
a shareholder of Manchester United.
We have
Fun fact of the day.
New England Revolution. I wish would come to Connecticut. I know
Yeah.
they play at Gillette, but that would be nice. But all right, so that's that rapid fire question. We're gonna cut it at 2. We do not have a Baywood bet. Nick, do you have a rant or something you want to speak to us about that does not involve the Connecticut Sun?
Sorry, you guys are going to have to wait for round 3. I'm going to let them prove my point further over the next few weeks. But I did touch on it a little earlier in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the hiring of Mike Brown as the head coach of the Knicks. Not really a big rant in terms of like cussing him out, because he's had proven success in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that he can't coach, but
Kenny.
I don't know. We're going to find out. But when you have a guy like Mike Malone, when there's Dan Hurley, I don't know if he would leave UConn, but you needed to make a splash. If you're not going to make a trade, if you're not going to go splash free agency, you got to get a splash coach.
Mm.
And Mike Brown is not the answer. I hate to say that because he's had success in the league. He is not, to me, he's not a modern day NBA head coach.
That's fair.
I don't think what he brings to the table improves the on-court product of the New York Knicks. I actually think they're going to be a worse defensive team.
They will be.
Which does not bode well because the Knicks have shown that they are not consistent shooting the 3. So I don't know if they're going to score 125 points a night because they can't. They've proven that they can't do it consistently. I just think that we're going to play 2006 to 2012 basketball. Which, okay, in spurts, that works. Getting to the basket, using the bigs, okay, cool. Rebounding, slowing the pace down, works in spurts. That is not how you win in today's NBA. You need to be able to get out in transition. You need to be able to shoot the three.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be able to get to the free throw line. I don't think the Knicks excel in those three categories, personally. And bringing in a coach that doesn't, like, take those weaknesses and improve upon them, I don't think it bodes well for the short-term or long-term future, because we've been talking about potentially blowing up this roster, allegedly our theories.
Rather soon.
I read an article earlier that we are considering trading Mikal Bridges before the deadline because he is on the last year of his contract. And we paid OG Anunoby. Mm-hmm. We paid Jalen Brunson. Mm-hmm. We traded for.
He took less money. I would like to throw it out there. You did pay him. He did take less money. He did take less money, but Mikal Bridges is not a good 3-point shooter.
No.
He's not.
He's also got a weird shot.
He's not a great defender either, to be honest with you. I mean,
he had a negative defensive rating over the course of last season. What direction are we going in? We don't know with this hiring. And guess what? We just went to the conference finals, right? To, was it 7 games? Was it? No, it wasn't 7. It was like 5.
It was
right?
like 5.
5 or something like that. We got busted, basically, by the Pacers.
I think it went 6.
Oh,
6?
Yeah.
It might have went 6.
And it shouldn't.
And it shouldn't.
It shouldn't have.
So what's the
because there was hope.
So right. So if you're looking at the Knicks fan base, especially in New York, the expectation is you got to go back to the conference finals, if not to the NBA finals, and that is not this team. So then what? You're gonna fire Brown after 1 year? You're gonna trade Bridges? You're gonna then blow it up and trade Cat? You're gonna try. What are you gonna do? What is the long-term plan? The Knicks don't have one, and I think the Mike Brown hiring, it's a scapegoat hiring. For when things go bad, he will go. I don't even think Mike Brown makes it 2 years. That's my rant.
Well, I think
Would you rather Mike Brown or the Mexican street corn from Chili's?
Oh, that's a good point. That is a very good point. Side topic here. Chili's removed the street corn side from their menu. This is the equivalent of removing the corn off the menu and trying to replace it with plain corn. That's what this is. Now, corn on the cob's great. You add a little butter, a little salt, a little black peppy. Great. But it's not the street corn. Street corn has cilantro. It has this cream thing going on top. It's $3.50. It's great. You know what this was? This was a $3.50 hiring. And it will come off the menu just as fast as it got put on.
Stephen A. did say the trade did lack sizzle.
That is what this is.
So I can't be mad at
this
it.
This is Chili's removing the street corn. That's what this is. All right. And I'm upset about it because that was like the best side they had. So Mike Brown is street corn. Not even street corn. He's the regular corn.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Mike Malone, Hurley, Mark Jackson, that would have been the street corn. That would have been great. But no, I don't buy Mike Brown being the answer.
I will say this though on the Mike Brown thing. I will say that I think your offense will open up. I think it'll be more than just give Jalen Brunson the ball and go make a play. I don't think he'll score any less points. I don't think he'll score any more points. I do see more people having a role now. I think your offense opens up. And is a little less predictable, especially with the Jordan Clarkson signing. Again, I like the Mike Brown sign because I think the other coaches, they're not dumb. They're not going to New York. There's a lot entailed with that. One, I'm still not sold on James Dolan. And I don't think New York, especially what they did to Thibodeau, that's not showing loyalty to a coach. So why are people going there? Mm-hmm. You have a man who, and again, don't get me wrong. We were saying he should have been fired a while ago. However, if you look at it from what he did last year and then you go back and look at his numbers, if you're going to do that and still lose your job, why are you going to want to work there?
Yep.
That to me is as shocking as Mike Malone losing his job in Denver. Why did you fire him? Didn't he just win an NBA final title a year or two ago? And he lost his job? Why would he go to the Knicks where they're not going to win an NBA finals and think he's going to keep his job? So I don't mind the Mike Brown hiring. I think the offense will look better. I don't know if we'll see different results, but I think your offense will look better. And I'm tired of seeing him give the ball to Jalen Brunson, go make a play, and that's it. Being predictable. I don't think we'll see that. Trivia question for you guys. You ready?
Ready.
Put your thinking caps on.
And my phone down.
And your phone down so there's no cheating. Now, I will say this. Before I ask the question, I do not believe, I did look, it still has not happened, but it could have happened. I don't think the results were updated, but I'm 98% sure it did not happen. So, ready for our trivia question?
Ready.
It's a lot to choose from.
Oh.
What country has competed the most times in the Olympics and has yet to win a gold medal? Do we know the answer? I will give you a few seconds to think about it.
Most Olympic appearances without a gold.
Correct.
Summer, winter, doesn't
Olympics,
matter.
period.
Olympics, period. Okay.
It will make sense once we say it, but... And it's not one of those Kazakhstans or something like that you don't know about. You do know where this country is.
You want to make this fun and then start knocking off regions and continents?
Eastern Hemisphere.
Costa Rica. Oh, that's the wrong hemisphere.
Yeah. Matt's really smart, guys. If you could have seen the look I gave him, you would understand. Because he would have done the same look to me had I said that.
Now I'm concerned.
Australia.
Close, but no.
Philippines.
That is correct. It is the Philippines.
Thanks, Will.
Oh. I'm done with you. Inside joke we cannot say on the air. But yes, yeah, that would have been a good clue. Actually, I'm glad you said that. It is the Philippines. They've never won gold. Now, they have won silver. Do you know what sport? That's a joke. I don't know either. I didn't look it up.
Oh,
but
okay.
I want to see if you guys actually threw it out there because you didn't get the answer. So we have no Baywood Bet of the Week. We heard Nick's rant. My game of the week will go with something I was going to touch on, but I did not. Tomorrow night, ESPN Plus. Tune in. Oh, you see the time?
No, I'm looking at my calendar for tomorrow. I got it on my watch.
7 o'clock.
Usually.
NBA G League. OKC versus the Sixers. If you have not seen VJ Edgecombe play, you need to see it. This is the Baylor guard who did not play against UConn the whole game. But this is the Baylor guard who went number 3, who outplayed, outclassed, and just is probably a better overall person than Ace Bailey. But put on a show in game 1. And I was the one we said when we did our draft, I think he and Maxey are going to be a dynamic backcourt. And he has not shown me anything that says that I am wrong on that. We can go back and have a conversation if Ace Bailey doesn't have another game. Should he have even gone 5? Should Utah have made that pick? My answer was no. But it is what it is. But VJ Edgecombe, the kid out of New York City who played at Baylor, is putting in work and looked great. And if you've not seen his interviews, he is very appreciative to have the opportunity to play in the NBA. Most people are, but this kid is just, you can tell it's a dream come true. I believe he's from the Bahamas, but in general, it's been fun watching him play, and I would encourage everybody to go watch him play. It's G League, it's Summer League, I get it, but you can see that the building blocks are there for him to be a very good player for a very long time. So VJ Edgecombe, learn the name. It's a pretty cool name, and that is where I will leave that with us. So I'll let Nick bring us home because we all know you love Nick's voice as he says goodbye to all of you. So Nick, kick us off. Close us out. No more ranting though.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. No, just kidding. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. A lot to digest this week. A lot of content, a lot of sports. We thank you guys for, dealing with our voices. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We will be back next Sunday.
Yeah.
With episode 20
1. I don't know if you guys knew that. Today is number 20.
That is.
It's a landmark episode for us. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And take care.
Deuces.